Welcome. This is live. This is Sports Extravaganza. It's the second edition of 2025. My name is TK, aka Tony Kwalanda. Thank you very much for making time. We are always live every Saturday at this particular hour, all the way to 7 p.m. We are, of course, here to give you the best sports cuisine in East Africa, in Africa, in the globe, and across, of course, all the universe, and in fact, also from space. Now, on this show this day, we have definitely our Super Sato crew. Wametoka tu kuwatch game yao. One of them is a Kariobangi Sharks fan. Amelimwa. I mean, she just shows how she's been hit so hard by that particular team. Of course, she's from Dandora Stadium. She'll be here to share that story. Also, some of us who know how to play drafts. Sisi tunajua ile draft. Tunajua ile draft ya vipeke. Now, there is this other draft called chess. And we shall be here to share some of the insights of how you can be a chess superstar. In a bit, of course. And also, on this show, also, I have the president of the Esports Africa Kenya Federation. That is my good friend, Ronnie Lusigi, who finally have been incorporated by the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. That story up next. Na kona story ingine, ati kona teams za Esports in Dubai, na kona qualifiers na happen next month. So you don't want to miss, next month I miss here. That story, of course, utakuna ipata hapa hivi. And also, yes, about chess. So wacha tukimbie tu hapa kwa chess. Remember this show, you also win, sijui unafanya nini, unashinda, unaongea kwa SMS. Na apparently nasikia chess ni game ya wadosi, haitakangi kelele. So wacha firimbi niweke huku sisi wase wa Eastland, usilete ukierere huku wase wa Leafy Suburbs. Habari zenyu? Naona uko na hii, itumie. Yes. Habari yako?
Nzuri sana.
Hizi ni vitu gani hapa? Kuna chess, kuna card, hizi naonanga tu kwa movie. Tuambie jina yako and of course.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu.
Naitwa Eugene Bahati Nabiswa.
Yes.
I am a chess player, chess trainer, and chess arbiter. That is a referee. In front of us is a chessboard, a professional chess clock, and some chess cards for memorization on openings. Yes.
And of course, I can see you have you have the virtual chessboard.
Not virtual,
sort of.
Yeah, this is called a demo chessboard. It is like the blackboard in chess used in teaching chess. Yes.
So some of us who play drafts cannot qualify to play right now this game. Wale wa vipeke.
You can, provided you have the interest.
I have the interest. I know you have the interest as well. So, and who's your friend, of course, your colleague over there? Who is that? Tuambie jina yake. Who are you? Na anakuja kufanya nini mbio tu ile intro.
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Anthony Kionga.
Yes,
I am the chairman of the Nairobi County Chess Association.
Yes. Thank you so much. As you can see clearly, for those of course who've been asking questions, you've been saying, oh, Tony, oh, chess. We don't know how chess. You've never brought chess. 2025, we start with Mambos to do with our chess. And of course, they're here. They'll be sharing nitty-gritty, both virtual, both analog, na pia tumeweka vitu kwa wall in that order. So stick around for that. We shall be able, of course, to engage them a bit more about what they do, where they do it, and how they do it, and some of the competitions they've won, what they're preparing this year, and how you can be part of chess, because most of you play a good chess. Now, definitely on this show, we want you to be part of it. I have airtime. This show, of course, remember, I don't do it alone. I have an entire squad led by Mafindio, aka Nick. Sa mwenyewe amesimama pale kwa director. Niko na producer wangu pale Sani Nyargita, and entire squad. We also have a good friend, Boniface Kimanzi, at Ngong Race Course, where the Kenya Cup Queens versus Nondis are taking place. But first of all, the question of the day. The easiest question of the day, and remember, of course, on this show, we choose randomly who wins airtime on this show. We're asking you, what are the chances of Harambee Stars winning the African Nations Championship? What are the chances of Harambee Stars winning the African Nations Championship CHAN 2024 that, of course, was rescheduled to August 2025. Talk to us. Our SMS line is 22047. You can also go and check the numbers below your screen. They'll be there. You can WhatsApp us a 20-second WhatsApp clip on WhatsApp. The numbers are below your screen there. To me, WhatsApp video, 20 seconds to ambie what are the chances of Kenya or Harambee Stars winning CHAN 2024. We have the numbers to call in, as you can see on your screen below, 0795 045 864. Piga simu. WhatsApp is 0793267279. Send a 20-second WhatsApp video clip and share with us. You just never know, you might win here. And of course, you can call in and you can share your sentiments live here on this greatest show, watched by over 6 million viewers across all platforms on the globe. hapa ndio tunapiganga shughuli. And of course SMS line tutaweza kuzisoma hapa hivi. Niko na kila kitu ready, standby na kila iko ready. Now in a bit, of course, we shall be welcoming our Super Sato crew in a bit. Nimeona Jose, nimeona Makinde, tunajua ule shabiki wa Tusker pia anajulikana kama Celine Waithera. Now, quickly, this is the news that is making rounds across all social media platforms. Erling Haaland, the Manchester City striker, has struck a deal worth 41 billion Kenya shillings. For those who come from the UK like myself, that's about 260 million sterling pounds. And if converted into Kenya's 41 billion Kenya shillings until 2034, when Erling Haaland will be 34 years old. Now, Erling Haaland becomes the highest paid English Premier League footballer, and of course in front of Kevin De Bruyne, his teammate at Manchester City. Now listen to this. This guy, Erling Haaland, will be earning close to or over 320 million Kenya shillings per month. Now let's make it closer home. He'll be taking home weekly 80 million Kenya shillings per week. Let me bring it closer as well so you can understand what I'm talking about. Per hour, this young man will be getting 500,000 Kenya shillings per hour. Now you can imagine me sitting here for 3 hours and waiting for my monthly salary, and this guy per hour earns 500,000 Kenya shillings per hour. Now Kevin De Bruyne gets 64 million Kenya shillings per week, and he was the highest. But right now, Erling Haaland has surpassed that. Remember, he has won 5 trophies. 5? Yes. In the last 2.5 years at Manchester City, he is currently on 16 goals this season. Now listen to this. They have backdated this deal to the start of the season, which means this guy has pocket change of 500 million Kenya shillings. Nani alituambia tufanye na tusome communications ati ndo tukuje tusomenge news kama hizi? Of course, let's listen into Erling Haaland. Ali, of course, we're able to get that conversation.
Yeah, I'm super happy. I'm proud, and it's difficult to put words on because it is a big moment and everything. And who I am is I am happy, and that's the right words to use. So I'm super proud and happy, and I look forward to staying there for a long time.
Was it an easy decision for you to make?
Yeah, in the end, speaking with the people I spoke with, in the end, the hungriness and the support also I've been getting for the last couple of years from the board, from all the bosses, and from Pep. In the end, it wasn't an easy decision, and yeah, I'm delighted.
We've had a lot of success in recent years, as you know. From your experience of being here, what is it that City do? What is it they offer players that allow them to perform so consistently?
Yeah, first of all, a really welcoming club where you get really good taken care of. I think that's also really important when you speak with people and everything. You really feel at home here. That's the first amazing thing. Second of all, when I spoke to Pep, the best manager in the world, it's also a great thing to speak with him and to train and to play under him every single day, to meet him, to get his input on me and how to become a better footballer and everything, and to develop even more because he is the best.
Ask you to sum up your first 2.5 years as a City player.
I still remember the rainy parade as maybe the biggest or best moment, because it was so typical Manchester parade and everything around, you know. So it was an amazing. It's been amazing, and it's been like a dream these 2.5 years. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to what's next and for the future.
You've achieved so much already, and now you've committed for such a long period of time, for 10 years. I mean, you've got an opportunity to create a legacy at this football club, haven't you?
Yeah, and yeah, I'm going to stay for a long time. So now I can fully focus on getting better, because I'm going to stay here for such a long time. So full focus on performing, on getting better, and to give all the fans what they want.
Just try and describe to us the impact Pep has had on your development and how much you feel you've improved in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, I've improved a lot. It's so nice to work with him, not only because he's the best, but he's also the most hard-working person I've ever seen. You know, people think it's only because he's this or that, but the amount of hours he puts down is also motivating, and it's also inspiring as well to see. And yeah, it's funny to work with him. It's hard, it's tough, because he demands a lot. But that's what I want. I want people to demand a lot from me, and to put pressure on me. In your first season here, you scored 52 goals in all competitions, and we won the treble. I mean, at the time it was amazing, but looking back, now you've had 18 months to digest that. I mean, it was something really, really special, wasn't it? Everyone was speaking about the Champions League and everything of these things. And then to do this, the first season, is you can't ask for more. You cannot ask for anything more. So that will be forever the most special season for me ever in my career. I just know it now. You're one of the most recognised footballers in the world, but you always seem to play with a real smile on your face. I mean, how do you manage to cope with the constant pressure and the attention and the scrutiny that comes with being Erling Haaland? Yeah, my life has changed a lot in the last years. That's just how it is. I'm enjoying it. I try to smile as much as possible. I try to enjoy as much as possible. That's in the end the most important thing. What you want to do is to smile and to have a good time and to enjoy your life. That's what you need to do. So yeah, in the end it's about smiling.
Erling Haaland, who has just made some of us feel very sorry about our careers, but it's okay. Our children will save us from our predicament. And this is what's Extravaganza. You are joining us live. My name is Tony Kwalanda, and of course I'm joined by Tabitha Makumi, aka Makinde. Happy New Year to you. It's good to see you. I know we've seen you. Tumekutana na Makinde kwa ground akifanya story. Karibu sana.
Asante.
And Happy New Year to you. And of course I also have Joseph Kuria. Happy New Year to you as well. Atujonana hii mwaka.
Atujonana.
Asante, karibuni sana. Makinde, umeona hiyo story. What are your thoughts about that? Is that too much? What is it? Does it deserve? And will it actually cause a lot of problems in Manchester City, or has it even already caused those problems?
I think with Man City, their problems didn't start now. As soon as they got that oil merchant and they became Money Oil City, that's when everything changed. Even before Pep came, they came and destroyed the transfer market for everyone. When they started buying defenders for 100 million, and now everyone has to match up to that. I think we can blame it on inflation. We can blame it on the fact that these days money is just given out like that. I think in a way Haaland deserves it, honestly. He's been phenomenal in as much as we call him a robot and he does what he's supposed to do for a striker. In as much as Man City wamekuwa struggle and him also in terms of scoring, but I see the vision in trying to lure him. Because if he were to go to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they'd give him $1 billion. Easily. So yeah, so in a Niuma, but I think I will train my children to start playing football. Sasa we are moving away from lazima ukue daktari na nini pilot. Akizaliwa to boots, unambalisha shati, unaanza kuambia unaona hivi ndio tunafanya. Hakuna kusoma ni kutrain left footed right winger. Hivyo ndio tunataka.
Yes, clearly. Hey, Joseph, you see that hapo toi. I hope Joseph mtoi ameanza kuvaa boots. Ni Makinda anasema ashaanza.
My take on this, I think mimi niko na two different opinions. Number one, for it's a 10-year contract.
Yes.
So I think na haina release clause. So this time, what happens if Pep atoke, another coach akuje, a coach that envisage kukuwa na Haaland kwa game zake. What happens when Erling Haaland, for example, a flop? What happens kwa hiyo contract yake? So I think to me it's too much. Kwanza kwa miaka, I think hata wangempea half 5 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
10 years, I think that I don't know how they looked at it, but to me hiyo nyaka nini?
Oil money. No, and oil money is being flexed around. Of course, we had information that Real Madrid were rumors, of course, were really interested in him. Barcelona were interested in him. Saudi Arabia, of course, Makinde has mentioned, were interested in him. But yeah, that is crazy money. Sisi wacha tu. Guy, Jesus Christ. Hiyo ni noma sana. Kariobangi Sharks wamelimwa, atatuambia baadaye hiyo story in a bit. But also, still in this story about Manchester City, Pep Guardiola currently is undergoing a divorce process. Is it Christina Serra? Hiyo jini inaitwaje? So, remember that time alikuwa na maalama ni kama amepigwa, ni kama sufuria zilikuwa zinarushwa kwa hiyo manchoni yao. So this 50-year-old wife has begun that process of divorcing this particular time. But hapa ndo lazima sasa tuweke kina Makinde on the spot. So the reason why this lady is divorcing Pep is because Pep is spending so much time in football that hana time ya kutoa kutu nyumbani. Hiyo ni maneno yangu. Now so I'm wondering if this lady who has been with Pep Guardiola for they got married when they are 22 years old or 20. Now both of them, the wife is 52, the husband is 53. They got married all those years back. So the wife has realized, oops, guy, hauna time yangu na nini. Alafu anapatiwa half of ile property yenye analia ati yaimpatii time. Makinde nyinyi mko na jokes. And hizi laws na favor madem.
Aya bala. It's
no, I mean this is sad for
yeah, it's definitely sad, but I think first of all you should come to an agreement. If she got married to him while he was still coaching, I think he was still coaching at the time.
Yes, alimpata akicoach.
Or he had just failed his
footballing
career.
His
footballing career was on the verge of everything.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe she thought as time goes by, they were going to have more time together. But now, especially with what is going on with City, I can actually see how Pep would not have any. Because Pep is a madman when it comes to football. He feels, he looks like someone who breathes, eats, everything is just football. Like he'll be eating and then he's like, oh my God, I got tired, I can play this one here and then this and that. He looks like that kind of person. So yeah, she's definitely feeling neglected. On that, in terms of getting half, Pep should have made her sign a prenup.
Yes,
at some point.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you feel like at some point you guys are going to divorce, you should obviously put prenup on the table. But the thing is this, he is going to make more money than what he has right now. So.
But he made Pep Guardiola.
He's done all the work. They're going to say, oh, he's done all the work. How has she helped him? She was with him.
I
think that's unfair.
It was very unfair.
And most probably, that's why labda mind yake of later ijakuwa kwa ball. Tumeona Man City wamekuwa kidraw some matches, wakichapwa. There's some time walienda 9 matches without winning.
Yes.
So I think most probably hii ndio imekuwa ikimuaffect. However, mimi nasema hii sio fair kwa sababu ulinipata nikiwa kwa ball.
Akicheza ball.
And all that time, you've seen me nikiwa kwa ball. So what changes right now? Hiyo time unataka ni gani?
I think there's underlying issues. I don't think it's solely football.
They can never be
something else.
No, we've never heard of Pep Guardiola cheating. Okay, see, I'm not sure. Siko Spain, sijakuwa Spain ama England.
Actually, I think it's a good thing. Amekuwa kwa ball. So hiyo story ya cheating hana time. So I think it's a good thing.
Exactly my point. And remember, their kids, one of the eldest one is 24, The other one, I think, is 21. So there is Maria, the Marias, and Valentina. The Valentina is the youngest one, 17, still in school. So I'm wondering, unasema time gani? The first one is a model. Ule mtoto wake wa kwanza ni model huko, anafanya modeling, over about 1 million followers on Instagram. The second one is a CEO of 3 companies in Dubai. Huyu mwingine ako shule. So ni nini?
Si mtu nadhani ukifika uzeeni ndio watu upendana. Sasa wao wapendani. Je, unaoshosho na waguka love you rekindle.
Na waonanga tu Malindi kwa gani.
Yeah, what are sort of two issues, but Pep, give your wife some love.
What love? For they are 55 years. Which love for the last 20 years?
Sio yenye bibi yake anaitisha.
30 years.
Hiyo yenye bibi yake anaitisha.
So let me ask. So hata akitoka kwa hii marriage, anaenda kwa another marriage or what? I think it's unfair kwa Pep.
Hey, you can still get married at 50. She will definitely find someone out there who is going to love her or love her for her money or her husband's money.
And remember, this is the reason why watu kama kina Cristiano Ronaldo ni washarp sana. Wamekaa na Georgina Rodriguez. Amemweka tu kwa fence hapo tu for all these years. Hajawana. Sasa usunaona ati that's not good. Aya, yeah. I'm advising Haaland with all this new money, 80 million per week. Tafadhali, aweke tu msichana pending.
No, that's
amweke tu pending. Wazae tu pending. Wazae pending.
Ama afanye kama Hakimi.
Bas, Ashraf, Hakimi.
So if you divorce me, I have nothing. So
no. That's actually very bad. I don't wish any girl out there to go through that.
And we are not, of course, wishing or advising or advocating for not marriage. Please get married. Some of us, we are not maybe in that route. Get married. However, we are just giving you all scenarios available to you. Kama Hakimi, ama kama Ronaldo, Cristiano.
But why do you think Ronaldo hasn't married Georgina? What makes you think they haven't?
They have not married. Georgina and Wanani, they have not been married. We would have known. And if they did it secretly, I know there was a story about they did it in Morocco secretly.
Yeah.
Hiyo sasa lazima kutakuwa na prenup ama tu amemweka kwa ukuta.
But he has so much money. What is he going to do with all of that?
Hapana, apatie watoto.
Okay. Agree to disagree, but
that's of course our own opinion. Please, anything we say here, please take it with a pinch of salt. Usianze kupeleka kwenye kusema Tony alisema, Jose alisema, ama nani alisema. Of course, we also have our chess experts in the house. We'll ask them also which team they support in the English Premier League. Juu wana chess board, wacha tu niulize. Na microphone yako, which team do you support in the English Premier League? Ama wewe tu ni chess?
Mimi mostly ni chess, lakini football wise I support my dad's team, Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah. Kama it's your dad's team, then definitely Liverpool for sure. Okay. So nyinyi hamna hizi shenanigans za kunini za mashida hizi kama za Pep Guardiola. No. So mna focus na chess.
Mostly, yeah.
Our CEO there, which team do you support in the English Premier League?
Me, I'm a Ghana, Arsenal all the way.
Thank you.
Wewe ni mtu ya Arsenal. Wewe na Joseph Kuria hapa WhatsApp group moja. Remember, of course, that's why we have our chess experts over here. We also have a super Sato crew here. Later on, of course, also we have my good friend, of course, from the Esports Federation, that's the president. We shall be able, of course, to share this in a bit. Remember, if you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. My name, of course, is Tony Kwalanda. We have our question of the day. We want to remind you, be part of this particular conversation, which we shall also be discussing in this show about the African Nations Championship, where myself, Makinde, sikuona Jose huko KICC. Jose na Dr. Patrice Mosepe hawa kujangi kwa events kaa hizo. Hao ni wadosi wanatuma tu kina Makinde na Tony. So we shall be having that conversation about African Nations Championship, where Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania will be hosting in August after it was supposed to be hosted in February, that is next month. But sasa stadium zilikuwa bado zinakaa tu kama backyard yangu home. So we're asking these questions, a very simple question. Talk to us, call us, you can WhatsApp us, you can SMS us 22047. We're asking you, what are the chances of Harambee Stars winning the CHAN 2024? What are the chances of Kenya or Harambee Stars, if you like, winning CHAN 2024? The numbers are below the screen. WhatsApp is 0793267279. You can send a short 20-second WhatsApp video clip on that WhatsApp number. SMS, our call-in number is 0795 045864. Hiyo ni ya kupiga live. Mtu wangu pale my good friend Nick Mavindi ataweza kuchukua simu zako aweze kupatch hapa nani tuongee na sisi wote hapa kwa hii show, and definitely you can also send on SMS is 22047. Hiyo ni SMS, tuambie maoni yako. You never know, hii show you win airtime na unashinda vitu tu hivyo tu randomly tuna select hapa kwa hii kipindi ya Sports Extravaganza. Hivyo ndo tunafanya shughuli. Tukimbia mbio kwa right now as we speak, there's a game that is currently going on at halftime. That is Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Newcastle wako St James's Park. It is Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 2. Later on the 6 p.m. kickoff games, West Ham versus Crystal Palace, Brentford versus timu ya Liverpool. And then of course at 6 as well is Leicester City against Fulham. And then the late kickoff ni Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Hiyo najua Arsenal who are currently second on the table watapigwa. Jose pole.
Okay, maoni yanakubalika.
Jujuzi
unfortunately
maoni you don't consider those.
Consider.
Kelele ya chura hizo ng'ombe kunywa maji. Well done. Of course, we shall be there. Si kama tutakuwa tunakimbia. Unatupatia break Makinde ama Makinde Mavindi. Ama tuendelee. But of course now moving on, La Liga should be there. Acha niangalie kuna La Liga gani. Yes, Girona versus Sevilla 0-0 almost half time. Leganes Atletico Madrid ndio hivyo, Real Betis na Alaves ni usiku kabisa, and then of course ya 11 p.m. leo usiku ni Getafe versus Barcelona. Now CHAN is happening in Kenya, and most of you were like, oh, Kenya haiwezi tupeleke Rwanda hosted in 2016. Now it's the time for Kenya, Nairobi to host it together with Uganda and Tanzania. The draw happened this week on Wednesday at night at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in the capital here, Nairobi, where yours truly, Tony Kwalanda, TV47, tulikuwa huko. Makinde, that is Tabitha, alikuwa pia huko, aki represent inaitwaga namna gani, box to box.
Yes.
Alafu nikutana rafiki yangu James Ndege, director wa Ndege Resource and Development Center. Habari ya James?
Kwa sawa, kwa sana.
Tulikuwa pale KICC, Jose ndo hatukumuona, but Jose alikuwa na watch virtually. Yeah. Kwa unajua wadosi walikuwa busy, walikuwa na watchia kwa manyumba zao. Of course Jose alikuwa hapo hivyo. Now as well there was this, now Kenya has been put in a very difficult group, and also on this particular time we have journalists from Tanzania and Uganda. Leon, of course we brought two of them from Uganda and Tanzania, so they can share with us how prepared Tanzania is, their stadiums, their facilities, how do they take this postponement, and of course what is in it, how ready are they for Tanzania, what do they think about their groups. And also we have Ugandan journalist, of course they will be joining us in a few already, wako na sisi hapa hivi, watakuwa natueleza how things are in their country. So yes, of course, as you can see clearly there, we have this should be, yes, from Uganda. Clive, welcome to Sports Extravaganza. Clive, this is Tony Kwalanda. I am in studio with Tabitha Makumi, with Joseph Kuria. These, of course, are top pundits in the country. Welcome, Clive, on Sports Extravaganza. Let's just start off, Clive, your group, Uganda. Of course, you are in, Uganda is in Group C, Niger, Guinea, and one of the other unqualified teams, Algeria, Comoros, Egypt, SA, Gabon. What do you take of that, Clive? What do you think about the chances of Uganda making it out of the group stages now that you've been in this competition 7 times and you never left the groups?
It is a tough group, and what makes it tough is the fact that the opponents you probably feel that those can negotiate.
Okay, Clive, I think we have maybe a little slight problem with your sound. Just check maybe your sound, if maybe you have to use your headset, or just check your connection a bit, because we are losing you on a bit on that. That's Clive, of course, from Uganda. We wanted to hear about what they think about their group and also how prepared Uganda is. we also have Lawrence on the line all the way from Tanzania. Lawrence, karibu kwenye kipindi chetu cha Sports Extravaganza. Naitwa Tony Kwalanda. Niko hapa na wenzangu ambao ni wadadisi masala ya soka. Niko na Tabitha Makomi ambaye ni shabiki wa Kariobangi Sharks na pia ni mdadisi mkubwa wa soka hapa nchini. Na pia pamoja na Joseph Kuria, mdadisi mkubwa wa soka. Karibu sana Lawrence kwenye kipindi. Tuambie Lawrence, Tanzania, Madagascar, Mauritania, Burkina Faso na Central African Republic ni timu ambazo mtakuwa na wachana nazo kwenye kundi ba. Mnaona vipi nafasi, mtakuwa na nafasi nzuri ya kufuzu kuweza kushinda CHAN?
Ukitazama jinsi ilivyokaa, ukitazama jinsi ilivyokaa, ilikuwa unaweza kusema jepesi sana.
Lawrence, of course, our listener, please forgive us for that a technical issue with the sound. We are working on it. Sauti ni kidogo, unajua wanatoka Tanzania na Uganda, kwa hivyo unajua sasa ni mipaka wanavuka. Of course, let's try and sort out that audio and of course that network issue. We shall be able to get to them in a bit. Makinde, wacha nikulete group of death.
Hi, brother. Okay, ni group of death, but
ni group of death sasa unataka
sawa, ni group of death. Sawa, tulikuwa hapo watu wakipiga nduru hapo, wamesema Morocco, Zambia, Angola na DR Congo. So, but I honestly I watched the Mapinduzi Cup and everything that Coach Francis Kimanzi has been doing with that team. Yes. I've seen a great improvement compared to Firat. I'm throwing shade, by the way. But honestly, I have hope in this team. Yeah. I just feel like, especially the time that we had to prepare for Mapinduzi, compared to right now that we have around 6 months, we can be able to prepare very well on it. So I was talking to a friend of mine about this draw, and alikuwa ananiambia he thinks that the problem is people already consider these to be big names. When you hear Morocco, you think of the Hakimi, Zinini, Ivo, all those things. But the thing is, we have to remember, CHAN is for local-based players. So yeah, they can be good. They are good. We are not saying that they are not good, but we also have to go there with the mentality of winning. And we spoke to the assistant coach, Coach John. Yes, Coach John spoke about it and said the places we need to improve on are the striking position. But we also have very good strikers right now with Ryan Ogam from Tusker and Moses Shuma from Kakamega Homeboys. So they are well qualified. I just think we need to add in the attacking place. But we also spoke of how when Kenya, when you think they can't pull through out of something, that's when they surprise you. So yeah, we need a group of death, but someone has to win the group. Someone has to qualify. It might as well be us. Like, yeah, we stand rival pale. Wakijaribu kutuninia nyayo tunazima stima. We will win by fire by force.
Jose hapa huyu anatufanyia PR hapa. Makinde ni mapiara na tudu.
So mimi naona okay, it's a very hard group as much as ni local based players, but let us not forget Morocco wako na very good clubs. Wamekuwa waki-proceed hata kwa Champions League za CAF. Zambia, local players for Zambia also equally are very good. So we cannot just it's not, we've been given an extra 6 months to train. So I think it's a good thing. Even Muguna alisema that's a good thing. It's an advantage. So Kimanzi akona job kubwa sana. We have very good players. I think the only thing anafaa kufanya asiende the way Engin Firat was doing. He has to trust our players, and he has asieke like there are some players lazima wakuwe kwa team even if they are not performing. So I think it's, and Kimanzi is a very good coach. He has taken us to AFCON before. So I think we have a chance. But equally it's a very hard group, and hopefully by that time tutakuwa ready. Hopefully.
We are ready, of course. Even the few days that we had before Mapinduzi Cup, we were able, of course, to manage it all the way to playing for positions 3 and 4, which is okay. How we lost to Zanzibar.
Kilibio.
venye kiliibiwa na Dortmund na Eintracht Frankfurt jana.
Hey.
Kama mliwatch game ya Bundesliga jana usiku, I was very hurt. I'm a black and white, black and yellow supporter. Jana tuliumia sana, Eintracht Frankfurt tuko walituchapa. Still on matters, Chan, of course we will engage about Bundesliga a bit later. African Nations Championship, we have of course, umesema tuende Lawrence Tanzania, si ndio? Ama tuende kwa Uganda. Lawrence, karibu kwenye kipindi chetu. I hope tumeweza kupata sauti yako kutoka Tanzania. Lawrence, karibu sana tena. I know we had issues with the sound. Tuambie, Tanzania, just to start, muko tayari? Unajua Kenya kidogo tulikuwa na 2-3 ambazo zilikuwa zinatusumbua katika sekta ya kutengeza viwanja. Nyinyi Tanzania mulikuwa tayari ama bado mlikuwa na mambo 2-3 kabla ya CHAN kufanyika? Haya, Lawrence, sauti yako umemute. Lawrence, kama unaweza kunisikia, sauti yako ni kama pengine haya, naweza kukusikia lakini inakatika katika. Haya, ni sauti tu kidogo, utatumia radhi, sauti yako kidogo iko na mushkili. Tutarejea kwako, tutarejea kidogo muda mfupi. Clive, if you can hear us, Clive from Uganda. Clive, of course, tell us which station, of course, you work for in Uganda, and how ready is Uganda? Is it Kenya that put you behind, or how is the state of stadiums in Uganda? And just be honest enough.
Well, maybe remind you that you have made only one venue for the CHAN, which is the Mandela National Stadium. And I must tell you, Mandela National Stadium is in perfect shape to host the tournament. The only challenge that we have is with the training grounds. We had submitted a couple of training grounds, and as of now, only one training ground is available, and that is the training on the outside pitch for Mandela National Stadium. All the other training we had submitted to be used for CHAN are far from are being ready to the roads are being at the standards that require. So you feel that like Kenya, just like Tanzania, from making sure that whatever.
Okay. Clive, Clive, will get back to you. Just check maybe your internet connection. Could be having maybe a congestion. We'll get back to you in a bit later on to share with us. So Clive and Lawrence, don't go away, please. We really need you because Kenyans are thinking that it's only a Kenyan problem, but it's a challenge across East Africa. Please, we'd like to hear from you more on that. So don't go away. And of course, my Super Sato crew also, Joseph and Tabitha, will also like to hear from you. And they have many questions, tons of questions to ask about Uganda and Tanzania. This is Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda here, Tabitha Makumi, as well as Joseph Kuria. Now, we are speaking about CHAN. Now, just before I bring in Makumi and Joseph, we were able to speak, Nick, if you have those bites about Salim Mvurya, the CS for Sports, who spoke during the draw at Kenyatta International Convention Center. Tuko na Salim, CS wa Sports, and of course he was very straightforward and said, of course, we are ready, but I still have problems with how Kenya manages our sports docket in terms of the turnovers of the leadership. Mpaka hata Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the CAF, hata alisusia kukuja kwa draw yenyewe ya CHAN because alikuwa tu confused. Sasa atakuwa anakutana na nani? Atakuwa anakutana na CS ama atakuwa na PS ama atakuwa anakutana na someone new? But of course, listening to CS Salim Mvurya.
We strengthen our resolve to host this tournament. And of course, as three governments, the United Republic of Tanzania, Uganda and Kenya, our heads of state are also committed to ensure that this championship is a success. So we are really excited as a country because we know this tournament is going to bring out the best for Kenya in terms of talents, but also in terms of our profile for trade, for investment, and also for scouting, of talents. And I'm sure after this, many young people in Kenya who play football will find places, international placements. So I think we put our best and we urge Kenyans to support this process going forward.
Is there a set deadline on when Kasarani will be finished?
Yeah, in fact, we had set a deadline of this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday.
And even though the postponement has been made, we have not reviewed the deadlines. We will continue as planned to ensure that everything is concluded as our earlier agreement. So we are not postponing anything in terms of the infrastructure development and also in terms of our preparation, not just for CHAN, but also for AFCON. You remember we are also doing the Talanta Stadium, which is part of what we will be doing for AFCON. So for us, we are working backwards, but we haven't reviewed any deadlines. In fact, on Monday, we will continue with our inspection to make sure that, the infrastructure is completed in time, and then we can focus on other things. Hakuna kulegeza kamba. Mimi nimesema kwamba hakuna kulegeza kamba kwa matayarisho ya timu, hakuna kulegeza kamba kwa ujenzi wa viwanja hapa Kenya. Sisi tutaendelea kama vile tulivyokuwa tumepanga mbeleni, na haswa pia FKF wataendelea kufanya na timu yetu ya Harambee Stars ili kuzidi kuanoa makali wachezaji wetu. Na tuzidi kuhakikisha kwamba tunaenda mbele zaidi.
So kombe la dunia kufuzu Harambee Stars itachezea Kenya mwezi Machi.
Hiyo watachezea Kenya kwa sababu sisi tutakao tumemaliza viwanja hapa. So timu ikipangwa hapa tutaweza kucheza bila wasiwasi. Kwa sababu deadlines, na Musonye yuko hapa, president wa FKF yuko hapa. Tumesema kwamba zile deadlines tumeweka kwa infrastructure, hatutalegeza kamba, tutaendelea kuhakikisha zimekamilishwa kwa wakati unaofaa. Sasa huo ni umbea. Huo ni umbea kabisa na fitina. Kwa sababu hata ukiangalia taarifa ile ilipeanwa na rais wa CAF, hakuweka lawama kwa nchi yote. Kwa hivyo kama kuna mtu ana fikra hizo, tutazipuuzilia mbali kwa sababu ni umbea na fitina.
Live, mambo ni live. Welcome. This is Sports Extravaganza. Huyo ni coach CS wa, karibu nimwite coach wa ministry. Naona Tabitha ananiangalia vibaya.
Ministry ya mchezo.
Ministry of michezo. Ministry of Sports, tumekuwa na turnover mingi. Anyway, umesema Lawrence ako kwa laini. Of course, Clive, if you can hear me, we manage. Tumesema don't direct Clive from Uganda. I know you are a busy man who would like to just get, of course, a hold of you. Clive, the state of your state, you mentioned about that your training fields were still yet done. They are still complete. Tell us about also how the infrastructure is. It is said that Uganda, mambo ya traffic jam, you have the highest concentration of ndudhis. In Kenya we call them ndudhis, but huko najua mnaziita Uganda wanitaje pikipiki. Pikipiki, of course, motorbikes in Uganda. How is the infrastructure ready, and of course the road network?
Well, the road network within the city, of course, is not the best, but we also have a mini Thika Road highways that we call the express highways that actually connect to the Mandela National Stadium from the different parts of the city, depending on where the teams will be staying and where the hotels are located. But also you have the issue of traffic police and lead cars. I mean, these are things that can sort the issue of a traffic jam, trying to clear the way for the teams, for the match officials, and all that. So for me, that is something that I'm not really worried about. Teams want to navigate their ways from the hotels to the training grounds, from the hotels to the competition venue. That can easily be dealt with. I'm very sure about that. But of course, on the issue like we addressed earlier, for me, the biggest challenge is having the facilities in place. If you're talking about the hotels are available. Teams will be able to be accommodated. If you're talking about the issues for security, I feel we have the best security in the region. We can actually help out with Kenya and Tanzania if you guys are understaffed on the issue of security. So those areas we feel that we are good to go. The only areas that we are completely non-friendly is the area of the training ground. And for me, I feel once those are sorted, then we should be good because the training grounds also have their own challenges at the surface. For instance, Chambogo, that was supposed to be one of the training grounds, money was released late from government. So the EPDF construction brigade didn't actually have ample time to procure what they needed to procure. Some of these things were supposed to be shipped, but because of timelines, now they have to airlift them. So there were so many challenges. And I think the biggest challenges we faced as Uganda, but also Kenya and Tanzania, is government fully coming on board. And by government, you mean the different sectors in government. Because if we are having the challenge of the road network, then the Ministry of Transport and Works should be able to come in place. If we have the challenges of the medical facilities, the Ministry of Health that should be able to come in place. You know, it is a tournament where all hands have to be on deck in different sectors, but we underestimated a little bit of what is needed to be done. We think that the football federations and the ministries of sport can actually solve this. If they can't do it alone, everybody needs to jump on board to make sure that actually this works.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Clive, indeed. And of course, we have, Clive, we have one of our sports analysts, Tabitha, who was at the Nelson Mandela Stadium during the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, Harambee Stars there. She would like to share. Tabitha, how is that stadium, in your own opinion?
I loved it, honestly, because I haven't seen what has been done to Kasarani or to Nyayo because of the new infrastructure. But honestly, comparing to the state of the Mandela Stadium and what we used to have with Kasarani and Nyayo, Mandela is way better. It's very beautiful, has those screens for telling what are they called? The scores and everything. The toilets are amazing. The facilities, the washrooms are amazing. And it's very big. The environment outside there, it's beautiful. I loved the stadium, honestly. We landed, we got to Mandela Stadium and we were just taking pictures. We were so in awe. We loved the stadium, honestly.
What she's basically trying to tell you is that she's on social media and you can go check those lovely pictures that Makinde took on. What are you on social? Just before we go on break, what are your socials? You also work for Box to Box?
Yes, Makumi_Tabitha.
And mtafute pale, you'll see those pictures of Nam and Mandela Stadium, of course. They're wonderful. I also saw them from a distance. Ni moto sana. Najua Jose antaka kusema about that, but Jose, of course, will share with us a little bit later. We also have our chess team in studio. In fact, after this break, watatuonyesha mbili tatu about what is chess, where can you be part of chess, and how can you learn chess, and what is happening in the chess sector in the country or that particular discipline, and what is going on. So kunafikia ni ball peke yake. We also have chess that is happening in a bit. So this is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. We are taking a very short break. We have a question of the day just before we go. We are asking you, what are the chances of Kenya or Harambee Stars qualifying or winning the African Nations Championship CHAN 2024. What are the chances of Harambee Stars? Talk to us. SMS line ya kutuma ujumbe ni 22047. You can go and call us in live 090795045864. That is what you can call. You can send a short WhatsApp video clip on WhatsApp. 20 seconds. Record yourself in a quiet place and share that particular video on 0793267279. We shall be back, of course. I'll be expecting also the Esports president around. Atakuwa anakuja hapa. Amesema there is a new sport in the Esports arena. Atatuambia ni nini. Chess wako hapa hivi. And of course, we shall be delving much more into different other sports. Don't go away. We'll be back in a bit.
Join Maybets leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1 au draw X au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako, chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybet. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 0000578.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia, pesa inavutia.
by Maybets. Chance yako ya ku-earn 2 million kila mwezi imemwok. Introducing Maybets referral program. Tools ni mbili, simu yako na app ya Maybets. Fungua account yako ya Maybets, under my account utapata a unique referral link ambayo utashare na mabeshte na followers wako kwa mtandao. Alafu form ijipe. Si unangam, unangoja nini? Start journey yako ya ku-earn 2 million every month. Not for persons under the age of 18. Authorized and regulated by BCLB number 680.
Pesa inavutia, pesa inanukia.
Welcome back. This is live. This is Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda here. Tuko hapa. It's a full house. I have my Super Sato crew. Finally, Celine Wadira has just landed in. She was just coming from the airport. Na alikuwa amepata jam kwa expressway. Karibu sana Celine. It's good to see you. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Now we are complete Super Sato crew. Ni yeye ametuweka and of course anatubaia dinner after this. Amekubali, ishakuwa sealed. We are discussing about the African Nations Championship. Siko peke yangu pia as well. Joseph ako hapa, Tabitha Makumi. Tuko pia na the chess team. And of course we also have the Chess Federation as well in the house. We also have the Esports president in the house. I told you leo tumejaza soko. Kikapu in a melt with a lot of sports cuisine. So Clive from Uganda, a sports journalist, if you're still around. Makumi kuna swali yote kama ndio tuache Clive aende afanye sports. Ama Jose, ama Celine, tuko tuna engage Clive, who is a journalist from Uganda, and we were asking him about how facilities were ready. Clive, if you can hear me, you mentioned about, of course, that the only things are fields, everything else is ready. What do you think about the postponement of the tournament from February to August? Does it work for the East African nations? Ama it will just be the same old story again before even August comes?
Well, I think for me the postponement was a blessing in disguise. First of all, as a region, as the three countries, we are far from being ready to host this tournament. Like you can see, today's the 18th. It is a couple of days away, so we are far from being ready. But also the fact that originally it was a competition of 19 teams and only 17 were available. CAF probably tried to find the best way possible how they can fill the gaps of the two slots. And the only way they could do that is to try and have a mini qualification tournament. We are getting reports that they have been able to compete countries like Egypt, who have never been part of Chad, countries like South Africa, countries like Algeria and Libya, who had pulled out, and a couple of other countries to be part of that mini qualification tournament. So if that is going to happen, obviously it's not going to happen in the last 2 weeks, or rather in the next 2 weeks. It is probably they will need to find a window where we can have those qualifiers. So there was no way they were going to have the tournament without having those qualifiers. But also, because if you're talking about countries like South Africa, if you're talking about countries like Egypt, countries like Algeria, countries like Libya and all that, currently they have their league ongoing. And those are the same countries that are supposed to play in the qualifiers. So you needed to find a suitable time to have those qualifiers. Obviously, they will have that time. So the only option that was available was to postpone the tournament. As a region, we weren't ready, but also CAF had a few boxes that they needed to tick.
Yes.
And the only way they could tick those boxes was postponing the tournament. August is a little bit tricky. You thought that the tournament should have happened in June and July. But around June and July, we have the FIFA Club World Cup. And it is because of the FIFA Club World Cup that the Africa Cup of Nations was pushed to December and January into 2026.
Yes.
So we have August. Of course, the postponement is a blessing in disguise for us to be ready as a region, but to also to tick all the other boxes or to fill the other missing pieces in the affairs of, especially on the issue of having all the 19 teams that are needed for the tournament to happen.
All right, indeed. Clive, thank you very much indeed, Clive, a sports journalist from Uganda, of course, painting a picture of how things are in Uganda and, of course, some of the reasons and if it was beneficial to them as a country in Uganda. And of course, the pictures you can see on your screens, this should be Nambole. In Nambole, of course, Uganda, you can see how the pristine conditions of their fields. In fact, I'm hoping we shall not be having crusades and safari rallies on top of that grass on Nyayo National Stadium or Kasarani. Tupate maprofit huko mtaona. Of course, also as well, as we look for Lawrence from Tanzania, Celine, Celine, were you in Uganda? Yes, Celine was also at the Nelson Mandela Stadium during last time out in the qualifiers of Harambee Stars. Celine, tuambie, what were your thoughts about that facility? Of course, Tabitha has shared her experience with them.
Of course, it's a good stadium. If you look at it, it's a 60,000 capacity. It's like Kasarani, but it's improved Kasarani. You know how Kasarani is like, but that stadium is okay, really, like the grass, everything. Actually, we actually got a chance to get inside the ground, and it's actually good. Like I cannot compare it to Nyayo. Nyayo, I think they did some shoddy work. Don't come for me, they did some shoddy work because tell me why you're putting grass and then you're going to uproot it to prepare for AFCON. I think they could have, okay, we didn't know that the CHAN is going to be postponed. Right now we have like 4 months, 4 to 5 months away. So I feel like if they had postponed it earlier before the CAF came to inspect the stadium, I think we could have done something better because not only the ground, other facilities, changing room, washrooms, not good at all. And then I thought they're gonna put like the
canopy,
the roofs, because it's only the VIP section in the media section that only has the VIP. But if you look at Nambole, that is Mandela National Stadium, it actually looks good. It has the
complete canopy.
Everything. Yeah, it looks good. The washrooms are actually good. I was there taking snaps with my phone. Selfie mirrors, you know, if the trailer looks good, you must take the selfie mirrors. But I think right now we have time. If Kasarani, they're gonna do better. I hope they really do better instead of how Nyayo Stadium looks right now. And then it's okay. And again, the Talanta Stadium, I think it's gonna be a good stadium because you cannot compare Kenya to Uganda. Even though Uganda has like this one big stadium, if you look at Tanzania, they have Mama Samia, they have this one, another one in Benjamin Mkapa. Yeah, and then they have the one in Zanzibar. Their stadiums are good. So sisi tuko na tu Nyayo for now. For now tu tuko na tu Nyayo.
So my only wish is tumeongezwa time. I hope we really utilize that time because we have, and I'm sorry to say, some of our leaders, tukiongezewa time, we tend to relax. Alafu, the last 2 months, tunaanza kukimbia, tunaangalia study kama iko sawa. So I think it's kama vile Clive amesema, it's a blessing in disguise, and I really hope the leaders or whoever is in charge of those making sure that the facilities in our stadiums are okay, should really utilize this time and make sure that we get the best, because this is an opportunity. We are looking forward to hosting AFCON as well. So this is our chance to prove to them that we can do it.
Yeah. I guess when they were saying the facilities, they were not only meaning the stadium, even the roads. You remember the Kampala roads? Let me tell you, Tony, you had to literally get out of the bus and walk to the stadium because the traffic was not moving. It was
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the traffic in Uganda can be very, so I don't know how they're going to maneuver that. That's going to be a tricky venture. Also in Tanzania sometimes as well, kule Dar es Salaam, traffic also really gets, kama umetoka airport pale Nyerere ukikwenda Dar es Salaam, ni problems. Last time I was out there, unless wako na super highway. But of course, amesema Uganda wako na super highway. Clever amesema wako na super highway. So sasa expressway. Yeah, so we hope that expressway will take them express to the stadium. We hope that will work out. If we're able to get Lawrence Nisawa. But we also managed to speak to Nick Mavindi, if you have the Vice President of FKF, McDonald Mariga, who, of course, they are the new Supremos at the National Governing Football Body. And McDonald Mariga, who is the deputizing Hussein Mohammed at FKF, is very upbeat and optimistic, and of course actually gave a history of Kenya's chances of beating the big boys in Group A. McDonald.
You know, we have a big chance because, Morocco here, we've been doing well in the past, and then Angola same, we've done good. I think we have a big chance to qualify in this group. Lazima tuta work hard na tutaanza na preparation. We have to prepare well for our team, and we have, vile imepospondiwa, we have time to prepare. Tutaongoja alafu games zikikuja, we are ready.
We also managed to speak to Kenya Police midfielder Kenneth Muguna, and also former Harambee Stars striker Alan Wanga, who said there is a lot that needs to be done in terms of actually navigating and gyrating from this group to the knockout stages. Alan?
Number one priority ni kuprepare vizuri because tumeona pia sasa tuna a bit of time yenye itatupatia time ya kuprepare. Then players pia wanafaa ku understand that us being the host, your confidence inafaa ikuwe because fans and everyone wako na high expectations. So ni preparations tu ndio zinafaa kuwa put in place as early as now. Then I think by August we'll be good to go.
I think ndio chance yao because ukiangalia venye nimesema hapo before, the senior team maybe 3-4 ndio wana make the final squad, and also maybe ukiangalia maybe 1 or 2 ndio wanapata ile chance ya kucheza pale ndani. So it's a good exposure for the local guys, and sidhani kama 80 or 60% hawajaipata chance kama ina platform kama hii katika career zao. So ni platform yenye inaweza change life yako. So we just have to go back there and prepare well.
A group of death, but for me ukiniuliza I think it's good for us sababu naenda ku prepare players psychologically because kila player anajua wanaenda kukutana na timu ngumu. So wata prepare wakijua haiendi kuwa rahisi. So for me it's a plus.
Message yetu ni watoke pale nje wa support whoever will make the final squad, because all of us are Kenyans and we want the best for this country. So hii ndio tournament maybe inaweza kwa our first step outside there to make a statement that also Kenyans are back on the big stage with the big boys.
Yes, hao ni Muguna na Alan Wanga, rafiki yangu. Alan Wanga is doing magic in Kakamega County, building talent, of course, and helping the national team as well. We have Lawrence on the line from Tanzania. One quick before we let him go, I understand akona mambo mingi ya sport leo, sasa weekend, so sport ni mingi Tanzania. One of the sports journalists in Tanzania, top journalists in Tanzania. Lawrence, if you can get us live, this is Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda, quick one, Tanzania mko vipi tayari? Tueleze vile viwanja ambavyo viko tayari, kama ni wangesema ni kesho tunafanya chani viko tayari. Tueleze ni vipi hivyo viwanja, na pia tuambie kama kuna viwanja vya mazoezi ama training grounds zipi ziko tayari, na yale mambo ya msongamano wa magari vipi Tanzania itaweza kuweza kumanage hiyo situation.
Asante sana kwa maswali mazuri, na naamini hapo studio mnaendelea vizuri. By the way, mnafanya kazi nzuri, nimekuwa so impressed na kile ambacho mnakifanya so far.
Asante.
Kiuhalisia kuhusiana na Tanzania na uandaaji ama wenyeji wa michuano ya CHAN, kuna 50-50. Mimi binafsi kwa mawazo yangu naona kama bado ni 50-50. Ni jambo ambalo linaweza likawa unalichukulia kama ni la uzito mdogo, lakini ukidigi enough unaweza kugundua kwamba mashindano haya ni makubwa na yanastahili maandalizi makubwa. Tukisema kama ni swala la viwanja mimi naamini ziko tayari. Hata sasa hivi tunavyozungumza pale Benjamin Mkapa Stadium kuna mechi inaendelea ya kimataifa kati ya Young Africans dhidi ya MC Alger kutoka kule Algeria. Hiyo ni kielelezo tosha kwamba kwenye viwanja Tanzania wako tayari. Lakini pia kuna event ilikuwa inaendelea wakati wa Januari hii, siku sio nyingi, nafikiri Kenya mlishiriki kwenye mashindano ya Mapinduzi, na moja kati ya viwanja ambavyo vilikuwa vimeteuliwa kwa ajili ya kutumika ilikuwa ni uwanja wa Gombani. Kwa nini imetumika Gombani kule Zanzibar? Ni kwa sababu uwanja wa Amani ulikuwa upo kwenye marekebisho ya kutumika kwenye michuano ya CHAN. Hiyo inaonyesha seriousness ambayo ilikuwepo hapa kwenye eneo la viwanja. Lakini uandaaji wa mashindano makubwa kama haya CHAN pamoja na AFCON yanahitaji yako katika uwanja mpana. Tunapozungumza maandalizi ya viwanja ni sehemu ndogo sana ya mashindano haya. Kuna swala la miundombinu, tunazungumza network facility kama internet, lakini unazungumza good hospitality, unazungumza mabarabara, unazungumza airports. Inawezekana kuna baadhi ya maeneo ambayo bado yalikuwa yanahitaji uwekezaji wa kutosha. Mfano, eneo ambalo linasumbua na nafikiri hili ni tatizo la East Africa katika miji mikubwa ni pamoja na traffic jam. Magari, matumizi ya barabara yanasumbua, na inawezekana hata tukipewa nafasi tena ya mwaka mzima kujiandaa, bado tatizo hilo linaweza likaanza kujitokeza, even though wa siku za karibuni, mji mkubwa kama Dar es Salaam tayari wameshaanza kutengeneza mianya ya watu kuweza kutumia transport tofauti kwa ajili ya kuingia na kutoka mjini. Kwa hiyo inawezekana ikawa ni sehemu moja hapo ambayo tunaweza tukasema, mimi kwa upande wangu ilikuwa ni 50-50. Kwa nini nasema ni 50-50? Nilikuwa natamani kuona a week before au months before nione ile rhythm ambayo mtu anaweza akafeel akasema yes now Tanzania tunaandaa michuano mikubwa kama hii, na unaona ile atmosphere ukipita mitaani, unakuta banners, unakuta ukiangalia kwenye televisheni, ukiangalia kwenye social media, labda unaona ule uwepo wa kuashiria kwamba kuna mashindano. Lakini kidogo na katika eneo la promotion wise ilikuwa ni kama kumesizi hivi, mpaka uje uone labda kuna tukio labda linazungumzwa kama majuzi tulikuwa tuna kongamano ambalo linaonyesha serikali inawaamsha wadau kuweza kuziona fursa ambazo zinaweza kupatikana kwenye mashindano hayo. Ile ni jambo ambalo lilikuwa linatakiwa lifanyike hata miezi 6 iliyopita au miezi 3, lakini linakuja kufanyika siku karibu kabisa na mashindano haya. Kwa hiyo ile breaking news inakuja kwamba mashindano yamekuwa postponed. Of course sasa ndio inaonyesha kwamba kulikuwa kuna baadhi ya vitu ambavyo vilikuwa haviko sawa. Kwa hiyo mimi niwaambie, niwatie moyo wa Kenya kwamba sio nyinyi peke yenu ambao mlikuwa hamko tayari kwa 100%. Hata mwenyekiti wetu wa Baraza la Michezo Tanzania, namzungumzia leo Tenga ambaye alikuwa ni rais wa TFF kwa kipindi cha nyuma, amekiri akasema bwana, kuandaa mashindano makubwa kama haya na noti ambazo tulikuwa tumepewa ndani ya muda mfupi ilikuwa ni changamoto. Kwa hiyo niwatie moyo, hizi nchi mimi naamini Afrika inafanana, tofauti ni mipaka tu.
Kweli kabisa. Asante sana Lawrence, mwanahabari watajika katika taifa la Tanzania, muungano wa Tanzania. Tunashukuru sana. Tunaomba kwamba pia Lawrence, juma lijalo Jumamosi, tungependa pia kuweza kuwasiliana nanyi Clive na Lawrence kuhusiana pia na matayarisho ya Tanzania na Uganda tukielekea mwaka wa 2027, wakati Kenya, Tanzania na Uganda itakuwa inaandaa mashindano dimba la bara Afrika la AFCON. Tutaweza kutaka kusikia kutoka kwenyu. Hilo ni juma lijalo, Jumamosi ijayo, ili uweze kuelezea matayarisho yako vipi. But shukran sana kwa kuweza kutupatia muda wako, maana najua sasa hivi umesema kwamba sasa hivi timu ambazo zinashiriki katika Benjamin Mkapa, kuna timu ya Yanga ambayo inachuana na timu kutoka kule Algeria, Alger, katika mashindano ama ubingwa wa klabu bora bara Afrika. Ni mechi ambayo inapigwa sasa hivi kule Dar es Salaam. Asante sana Lawrence kutukumbusha hayo. Gor Mahia inafaa ikuwe inapiga mechi kama hizo, lakini Kenya Police haya, this is Sports Extravaganza. Asante sana Lawrence, tunashukuru sana. Next week tunaomba utupe muda wako pamoja na Clive. Mwasikia Tabitha, Kiswahili man, Kiswahili ni noma. Before tuende break, alafu tumwalike hapa of course tuweze kuchukua break kidogo fupi, wachanganuzi wangu waweze kupumzika. Mmesikia kwamba venye wametupatia, they have told us at least it's not only us, even them they were suffering.
So at least own up that sio sisi peke yetu. Tulikuwa na
blame peke yetu.
I also saw someone comment akasema that our biggest challenge ilikuwa viwanja. However, at least they also have other challenges. So I think this is a chance that we should really appreciate and take it seriously, to make sure that everything is ready for CHAN, and that will give confidence when it comes to AFCON 2027. So sports ministry inafaa ikuwe rada sana. I think in terms of even leadership, there is inconsistency, because today tunaweka huyu, after a few months mwingine anakuja, so anakuta vitu anaanza mahali ajui mahali anaanza. So I think kukikuwa hiyo consistency, kukue kama ni Salim Mvurya akae hapo, make sure that everything is ready, tusikue na hiyo change of leadership all the time.
Indeed, that's true of course. Tabitha umeona pia hiyo kuhandover, hata Mvurya ajui aanze wapi. Babu alianza huku, Murkomen alikuwa. Sasa we don't even know who to blame or who to put successes to.
Yeah, and I also feel like it takes time before the new CS has to now start working, because you can't just thrush them into this new threshold. Alafu you expect in like 2 months they know everything that is happening. So it will take them like 5 months. Alafu after that tumvute kazi after amesha kuwa get used to it, then we bring in another person, so that incompetency continues. But for me, I think, yeah, it's actually a blessing that we have CHAN and then we have AFCON, which is such a good experience for us to be able to have this. Also in terms of economic development, because anyone who will be working, you can imagine all the people will be employed to be working in CHAN, and all those local vendors when they're doing all those things. Because you look at a stadium, Dandora, it's a very small stadium, but it has improved the lives of people who live there. I'm trying to kuletea maji, nini. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to utilize and to get the most out of it. Also the fact that our players, I don't know kama tunge qualify CHAN kama tungekuwa tuna host, but it's actually an amazing experience for us to be able to have it, and also the fact that our players can be seen that. And I actually honestly love CHAN, because kama ingekuwa CHAN, our local players kama wangewaipata chance. Jewel, kama ingekuwa Firat, angetafuta tu watu wa majua kuja wacheze CHAN, ange find a way wacheze. But I'm so happy that it's the local players that we get to see what they have, and also the fact that wanaweza kuwa scouted in this
easily.
Yeah, and
course, yeah.
We'll get to grow them and have the best players, because we have the best players in my opinion.
Tuko na talent mingi sana tukianza zile tournament tumecheza. Celine, before akikuja ama nini, wacha tukimbie kwa groups mbio. Groups za CHAN, how things were. Just quickly, I know you already have this, but Group A has Kenya, Morocco, Angola, Dr. Congo, or DR Congo if you like, and Zambia. Wacha tuende kwa Group B, mbio, of course, we'll just wade through it. Group B, the Tanzania, Madagascar, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, and debutant Central African Republic. Hiyo ni Ka. And then under Group C, we have 2 teams that are yet to qualify. That's around Algeria, Comoros, Egypt, SA, South Africa and Gabon, then Guinea, Niger and Uganda. Then Group D, defending champions. Group D, defending champions Senegal, Congo, Sudan and Nigeria in that order. So 17 already confirmed teams, 2 are being waited for. And I know teams was GO, walikuwa nangoja ligi zao, blah 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 and all those things. Celine, in your opinion, hizo groups zinakaaje?
First of all, I choose to wear a Senegal jersey because I knew they are the defending champions. I'm going to buy a Kenya, but I'll wear it next time. So I feel like, in as much as people are saying we're in the group of death, I don't think so. Have you seen the young talent we have in Kenya? Yeah. Ryan Wesley, we have Kelly Madada, we have talent.
Yes.
So we need to pinch someone to make these boys level up, ama tuacharaze, but we have talent. But if you look at Morocco, we are not going to have Akina Ziyech, Akina Achraf Hakimi. I mean, some of the players might be a threat, but I think the team that is giving me fever every time I look at that group is DRC Congo. Because remember how they performed in AFCON. It was super amazing. So I feel like that is the only group that itatupea kidogo, itatumalizia nguvu. But if you look at our fellow, nilisikia mtu akisema Tanzania utatukanyaga, but sidani kama tutatoka hiyo group yao. In as much as they are saying it's an easy group, we saw Tanzania in AFCON.
Zanzibar is better than Tanzania.
Yeah, we saw them in AFCON walitoka group stages. So I'm not going to talk about Tanzania, but I think we're going to make it out of the group stage.
Quick, Jose, just before you go for that next break.
The only thing is was go overconfident. Because I remember Morocco as well, a 2 times champion, CHAN. So we are in a very hard group as much as we have good talent. So our boys should not be overconfident. But we're too confident. We have our supporters kwa nyuma yao. We shall, push them if need be.
Yes.
Tutawa push. And kama vile Tabitha alisema, timu inakuja kutuchapia home, tunazima stima. Hawatatoka study.
But hiyo kupush inafaa ianzie kwa technical bench.
Yeah,
Kimanzi has some work.
Exactly, of course, Kimanzi has a lot of work. And then, of course, our captain Abud, tafadhali. Mamoto tafadhali tuliza sana.
Hakuna mangumi bana.
This is a serious
tournament. Ako sawa.
Tumpeleke hizi.
Temperatures zilikuwa zimepanda huko Zanzibar, but it's okay. Mapinduzi Cup hiyo ilikuwa tu ni sawa. Yes, now this particular juncture, of course I understand tumeambiwa tunataka tupige express. Hii ni Sports Extravaganza. If you are joining us, of course, we have our question of the day. We would like to be, of course, you to be part of this particular show. You can call us, you can SMS us, you can WhatsApp us, whether by text or by video. And we're asking you, what are the chances of Kenya or Harambee Stars winning the African Nations Championship in Group A, Kenya, Morocco, Angola, Dr. Congo, and Zambia? What are the chances? Talk to us. Share those WhatsApp videos on the WhatsApp numbers below your screen. You can call us in live. You can SMS us 22047 on TV 47. And then, of course, we're able to sample them on this particular live show. Right now, I want to just to, I want us to switch gears kidogo. But since nimeambiwa saa hii hata kunywa maji, wacha nilete chess in the picture. Now, we have, of course, our chess. Wacha pia kina Tabitha wajifunze chess. Wasiseme ati chess haikuonyeshwa. We were supposed to bring in our president to our Esports, but nimeambiwa tunapiga tu saa hii train teke saa hii ni SGR mpaka 6. Haya, tuambie sasa hii maneno yenu sasa. Now it's your turn. Just now tell us the basics too. My brothers, my shosho, my ndugu, they just basics too. Yani before hata mtu aanze kuchess, tuambie ni nini. As it's very important because we want to demystify. Wanasemanga chess ni mchezo ya wadosi. Endelea.
Sasa, thank you.
Karibu.
And Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. Hata kama tuko tarehe 18, yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, in kucheza chess unahitaji board. First of all, interest.
Yes.
Alafu board na clock kama unaweza afford. Yes. It is a very inexpensive sport. One, sio ya mababi vile wase wengi wanasema.
So it's available across
available
Kenya, in any shop, in any place. Easy boards na hizi vitu.
Yes.
Okay.
They are really much distributed.
Yes.
Na si ya mababi pekee ati Lavington ama wapi. Kwa inaenda hadi kwa slums through initiatives like the Gift of Chess, Sports Outreach Ministry, and through our federation ndio wana spearhead.
Good.
Si lazima ucheze kwa board, unaweza cheza online pia as it is being shown here.
Okay.
So this is a game on going somewhere in the world.
What do you mean?
As in
ni kama okay.
Someone wako wanacheza somewhere in the world, random people.
So you can log into something on some app on some website or
kuna website inaitwa lichess.org, kuna chess.com, kuna Tonelo among others.
What are the benefits of live? Unajua kuna mambo mengine kusema hii live inasaidia watu wanashinda ama tunakupimana nguvu.
Kuna kupimana nguvu, kuna kushinda, cash prizes, kuna hata our federation imeintroduce gari as a grand prize. Yes. Na nasikia tuko na SG wa hii mashindano. Sijui kama Nick umempata online. Kama ako online atakuja kutuambia anapanga nini hapa Kenya. Endelea. Aside from the benefits, kuna pia cognitive benefits, inasaidia critical thinking, foresight, na pia education, especially maths na sciences, and also the chance to travel.
True. Na una travel both virtually, physically and online. Hivyo ndo tunapiga shughuli hapa hivi. Yes, tuendelee kabisa.
Yes.
So umesema this board in Kakamega in my village. I come from Malava constituency. Unataka kuniambia Malava kuna shop iko na board ya chess?
Mostly zinaweza patikana Nairobi. Lakini kupitia the Gift of Chess wana distribute to other privileged members of society.
Very good. Sawa.
Yes.
Asante. Endelea sasa. Kuna clock hapa tunanga mtu anacheza anasongesha anafinya. Hii ni nini?
Clock sasa unajua ni ya kuthink. By the way, it is a game of like in life. Every move you make has a consequence. Like in life a decision. Lakini sisi tuko na the entire day kuthink.
Yes.
So lazima tukue timed. Timing inaweza kuwa hata as short as 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. Standard time control ni 90 minutes with increments of 30 seconds per move. So different formats, si ngumu.
Okay.
I know it sounds
very complex. It sounds mathematics, algebra.
Actually, there is very little math. Tunaenda tu tukibuild. That's why we have coaches in chess. And in chess we have such a board.
Yes.
Ni kama blackboard ya kufunzia. Inaitwa demo board. This boards tunaweza pata courtesy of Mini Chess Kenya. Search to Mini Chess Kenya. Yes. To have access tuko na clubs in Kenya.
Yes.
Kuna Lighthouse, kuna Black Knights, kuna Mombasa Chess Academy, kuna Kisumu Chess Club, Eldoret Chess Club, so many.
Also, they're available in these major towns, kabisa.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay,
all
good.
over the country.
Good. Of course, wacha tuweke mwenzako atuambie, of course, atukumbushe. Ulisema you're the Nairobi... Introduce yourself. I forgot.
Okay. Thank you for having me. My name is Anthony Kionga. I'm the chairman of the Nairobi County Chess Association. Very good.
What do you do? What is your core business in that particular capacity? And so far, what inroads have you made in terms of promoting the game?
Thank you. My core business is actually trying to promote the game into the whole Nairobi.
Yes.
So, like you've said, there's a stereotype that chess is a...
wadosi.
Yeah, wadosi. So hiyo ndio kitu tunatry ku demystify. We're trying to enter into public schools, just provide them with chessboards, trainers, so that they see they can also play. We also organize tournaments so that they can come and compete amongst themselves and see who is the best. I'm happy to see that the national champion 2024 is a junior, 19-year-old, alishinda gari. So this, you imagine umemaliza high school, unaenda wacheza nationals, then you walk out with a car.
Are you allowed to? No, they're underage. No, 19.
19, yeah.
Yeah, you
19.
can say their name and do their. It's very important to put a name to the face because ni mtu above 18, so unaweza mtaja.
So the national champion, current national champion is Robert McLegal. He started the game very young, learning the pieces one by one. Then he got the interest, and he's not the only junior who is performing well. We have so many. Kwalanda, so I won't mention the names. But if you see the top 100 Kenyan chess players, majority are 25 and below.
Okay.
Yes.
Well done on that, of course. And you mentioned about schools. Which schools maybe that have you prominently, public schools have you made inroads in Nairobi specifically? And is that plan going to be replicated like in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu, Mombasa, in terms of making it available to the public institutions? Because that's where the numbers are.
Yes. Personally, I can only speak for Nairobi.
Yeah, speak for Nairobi.
But I know the program is across the country. So there's the program that Chess Kenya introduced called Chess Mashinani. So basically it's just to go back to your homeland, motherland, huko Mashinani, and get a school, introduce the game. They are also going around donating chess boards. And at least once you give the teachers the skill, at least they're able to train them for the beginners.
Okay.
But now you see, chess, like my friend said, yeah, it's very inexpensive. In the sense that once you have the what is it called?
The interest.
Not the interest, the basics. The basics are, you can log in into your phone, play chess online, or if you have a board, you can just play with somebody.
Indeed. And of course, there are leagues in Nairobi that you play with, and of course, in the counties as well. I know you'll play a game. I don't know, sijui kama Niku mmepata SG. I wanted the SG, of course, atakuwa anatuambia whatever ameplan. The SG should be there so that now our two guests here can play chess. But before they play that chess, because SG atakuwa anaongea wakicheza, and yes, SG, kama uko around utakuwa unatuambia 2-3 about what the federation is doing. I want, of course, as they play, wataanza kucheza, then they'll explain what they're playing and what they're doing, because najua hapa kuna kwanga sijui na bishop, kuna pawn, kuna sijui queen, kuna king, kuna all those things. So SG, as the two play, they can go on and of course play a game, and wafenya watatuambia wana play nini. Secretary General, welcome to Sports Extravaganza. Tell us about what have you achieved in terms of actually popularizing chess? And I'm speaking on behalf of my people in Mandashivanga ward, in Kakamega County, in Malava constituency. Ni mimi ndio nafanya wapelekee chess, but as a federation, how far is it, and across, of course, other areas in Kenya?
Yes, first of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Karibu.
Yes.
Karibu, endelea, SG.
Yes, my name is John Mukabi, Secretary General of Chess Kenya. We are very active in about 30 counties, of course, out of the 47. Though there are still many other counties who play chess, but the they are getting their county branches organized.
Yes. Okay, yeah, and SG, of course, we've had Anthony mentioning about making progress, inroads into public schools. How is that in Mombasa, in Lamu, in Kisumu, in Siaya? How is that so far, and the plan in 2025?
First of all, I must say that chess is the fastest growing sport in Kenya. For instance, in 2015 or 16, we used to have about 200 players playing in the youth finals, and this was only in Nairobi. Today, we do get about 5,000 players.
Yes.
Like last year in Mango High School, which is a record, one of the largest chess gatherings in Africa. And even people in a county, Kakamega County, they have a county chess association.
Yes.
I will share the Chess Kenya calendar after this. We'll see how active chess is across the country.
Okay, and of course, SG, you'll tilt your camera kidogo. Naona umekaribia, umekaribia sana laptop yako. Tilt tena kidogo, hiyo iko sawa, tunaambiwa sasa tilt kidogo ikuje pande yako ndo ifunike juu kidogo. And of course, as our two players engage each other, of course they'll tell us what they are doing over here. Chess is very important, and we want you to, of course, to learn it and know it, the basics, so you can develop the interest. Kwa sababu tutakuja pale St. Monica na Matala Girls ni wafunze, nitakuja pia pale na Magara School pale Mandashivanga ni wafunze, and of course we shall take it across the country through the help of SG. And of course, as you continue playing, I would like you to continue playing. But just as you do that, explain to us, tuambie hii ni gani, huyu ni bishop, huyu ni nani na nini, and which kind of moves they make. I know they have those things, yeah.
Okay, real quick, we have the king. This is the most important piece in chess.
Yes.
The king is like your life. It must be protected at all costs. Think of chess as a battle. Like two countries disagree, zimeenda into war. We have the white side and the black side. All these pieces work together to protect the king na zinaenda ziki-advance towards the enemy territory.
Yes.
Aya, tuko na queen mwenye anasaidia.
So which kind of moves? Left, right, center, or any move? How does the king, which moves? How does he move?
The king moves one step around itself.
Okay.
So anaenda forward, back, right, left, diagonal.
Good.
Alafu tuko na queen, iko na ka crown hivi.
Yes.
Tuko na rook, inakaa kama castle.
Yes.
Then the knight, which looks like a horse. Yes. The rook moves vertically and horizontally. Knight ina move kama L ama number 7.
Yes.
Alafu bishop ni diagonal. Then these tiny ones zinaitwa the pawns.
Pawns, yes.
Yes, singular ni pawn.
Pawn ina move just more
ni forward ever.
Forward ever.
Easy reading.
The soldiers.
Yes.
Good.
Alafu umenotice board iko na numbers na letters. I'm sure watu wanashangaa ni zani.
Yes, exactly.
As you move, huwa tuna record moves. Why? Kwa chess after the game you need to go back and analyze, uone mistake ilikuwa wapi, ni kitu gani really miss. Alafu in the event of a dispute unasema tuta go back to the position, the arbiter, the referee anapitia, anasema this is where the error was made, hivi ndio, alafu anapeana guidance. Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
So as you move, una make move, una tap clock yako inaacha kurun, ya opponent inaanza ku count down.
Yes. So umesema each player has how many minutes? 9, you sema?
It depends on the format.
And so technically akianza inakuaga which numbers on this clock?
Numbers, tuseme game ni ya 5 minutes, itakuwa ni 5.
Then
yes,
of course
yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So would like, of course, weke venye ziko alafu mucheze as I engage. So just return it to your normal, how it normally starts. Alafu nataka mucheze. Nataka tuone nani ndio hapa ni mnoma. Hii ni Nairobi versus Kisumu. Watu washindane. SG, if you are there, Secretary General, tuko tuna just a few minutes as I hear we are not seeing your face. Nasikia umeficha uso. Tungependa kukuona ndio watu waweze kukuona vizuri wajue. Sasa sijui kama unaweza tuweka tuone, but of course as they play, SG would like you to engage us and tell us, of course, how the federation, what kind of tournaments we have participated in the recent past, how we have participated in them, and also the tournaments we expect this year, and what are our chances of Kenya, of course, both regionally and internationally. SG kama uko, tuendelee and tuongeleshe yes, go on about those questions.
As a result of our large youth program rollout, last year in December during the Africa Schools Chess Championship in Accra, Ghana, we got 4 golds in 4 different age categories and 1 bronze. And last year in the Africa Youth Chess Championship in Cairo, Egypt, we got a gold in under 12 boys. And also in our national championship that happened in December, you'll find the winner of the national championship who drives away with a car was an 18-year-old, easing out the so-called dinosaurs out of the game. The young Turks have now taken over. And we do organize regional qualifiers of the youth starting in February through to March. And then we have the finals in April. We have 12 age categories. The winners in each category announced the national champions. And that is boys and girls. There are 6 age categories for girls and 6 age categories for boys. That is under 8, under 7, under 8, under 10, under 12, 14, under 16, and under 18. That is for the even age categories. We also have another event for the old age categories for the youth. That's under 7s, under 9, under 11, under 13, under 15, and under 17.
Okay.
This year, our finals in April, we expect 5,000 players plus again. And in the youth event in August, we expect about 6,000.
Well done. Of course, just as you wind up that conversation, how do you select, what is the selection process? Because I can imagine in football, we have these age structures, of course, of, there is this under 17, there is under 20. So, how is the selection? How do you do
it? As I've just said, like in this coming April, we shall have the finals of the old age categories. The qualifiers will start from the regions in February and March. For players who will score a certain number of points and above, qualify for the finals. And as I told you, there are 12 age categories. So like in the old age categories, we have under 7, under 9, under 11, under 13, under 15, and under 17. The winners in each of those age categories in the finals are the ones who are declared the national champions, who will represent the country in international events for that particular year.
Well done. Asante sana, of course, Bwana Secretary General. And just one last bit. Some of the challenges that you faced so far with chess in the country and how you've overcome them, what kind of challenges you anticipate going forward?
First of all, it's the growing number of players who play in the finals. You can imagine from 2016, we used to have 200 players. Now we are at 5,000. This year we expect to reach 6,000. So the first thing is getting a venue that can handle these numbers, especially on accommodation, plus the playing halls. Then secondly, the demand for chessboards also grows, and chess clocks. So I think it's a good problem to have with the numbers growing. I think that's a good problem to have. It will really challenge us to think out of the box.
Indeed. Asante sana, Bwana SG. Let's of course bring in our champions here. They are doing their, I understand I'm not supposed to be talking, supposed to be a lot of silence and concentration and focus when they are playing this game of chess. It's a game of chess that is currently going on. They'll forgive me. I'm paid to talk every Saturday from 4 to 7. So amekuja kwa territory yangu. But of course they're showing us how some of course the moves, kina bishop, kina pawns, kina sijui wamesema castle, queen, king, mwingine sijui ni nani, knight. I mean, watani forgive me, najua tukicheza draft ya vipeke. Tukichoma mahindi hapo kwa Harambee soko Manda Shivanga hapo. And of course I'll interrupt them. Mutanisamea to interrupt you a bit, of course, as we come to that. I've been seeing you doing this. What was happening in a nutshell? And of course, going forward, how is chess in Kenya for you, where you sit? How does it look like going forward?
Okay, we were playing a blitz match. A blitz match is one that is less than 10 minutes. So each of us has 5 minutes. And mostly the aim of the game is to try and control the center or occupy as much space as you can so that you can squeeze in your opponent and eventually get to the kin. So the aim of the game is usually to get to the kin.
Indeed.
Yes.
I know Tabitha and Jose, today they are very focused. When they're speaking about football, they are normally very easy. But wameweka macho yao huku yote kabisa. Tabitha, Celine and Jose, if you have any questions, you can always ask. Uliza tu tukimalizia.
As amesema, each and every player has 5 minutes. 10 minutes or 5 minutes each?
5 minutes each.
So what happens when the 5 minutes are over?
So whoever runs out of time loses the match.
Oh, so the other one wins?
Yes.
Okay. Without that game ending?
Yes.
You're seeing it rough?
No. You started on an equal level, so
okay.
each one has 5 minutes. One is thinking too much.
So it's only limited to 10 minutes?
No, you can choose a different time control. So this one is a blitz, it's 5. It's a more of a quick game. We have the rapids, which is usually 25-30 minutes per player. Then we have the classical ones, the ones that we use in the league. That's usually 90 minutes plus 30 seconds. So a match can go up to 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so depending on the tournament and the time control.
So like 90 minutes while you are seated? Or
Yeah.
you can stand?
You can stretch a bit.
Oh, okay.
Kwangi na viti kama za stadium.
Lakini hatuna half time.
That's when you
Hatuna half time.
So during the tournaments,
Yes.
I've heard SG say the numbers has risen to, I think, 5,000. So, and they are referees. So I'm interested to know, mko na 5,000 referees ama referee ni mmoja moving around or?
So the program for chess in schools and chess machinani, they started first of all with capacity building. So to ensure that we have the numbers for trainers and the numbers for referees. So across the country, you can organize a tournament and use locals to run the tournament. So.
And cause local lazima ajue chess, ndio? Lazima ajue chess because I don't think utaref game yenye ujui.
Yes.
So how do you train the refs wajue fast chess ama ni wenye wanajua already that wata control nini, watakuwa ref?
So in chess, there are 3 types of people. Kuna the player whose main interest is playing. Then kuna mwenye amecheza akaona imekuwa ngumu akaventure into maybe refereeing and organizer. And the third one is the organizer. So you'll find most of the arbiters were initially players. Yes, and then they found a passion in arbitration. So you'll find them in other tournaments they're playing, in other tournaments they're referees. Yeah.
My question is, what's the big difference between checkers and
chess? The big difference is, first of all, we use all the squares on the board. So with checkers, they only use either light or dark squares. So in chess, we use all the squares, and we have 8. The pieces move in a different way. We have the pawns which move differently from the bishop, the knight, the rook.
Okay.
Yes.
And then why is it that it's, I see the champions are Slavic people, like the Russians, why is that? Or ni bahati tu, wanakuanga tu?
No, it's by design. You'll see most of those European countries, they take chess as a subject in school. So they're taken through the 18 years, they have learned chess, so you'll find their knowledge of the game is more advanced than those ones who play it as a hobby.
Okay. And my last question.
Yes.
There's this show I watched called Queen's Gambit, and they have really dived. I watched the whole show, but is it accurate, the chess they play on the show?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Tabitha na Celine na Jose, hizo shule zenyu za primary, please go and lobby.
What is the price of the kila kitu pricing?
Or yeah, how much will one board like complete?
Okay, one board. This one is sold by Mini Chess Kenya. It is only 1,300 shillings. 1,300 Kenya shillings.
Kama hii ni ya shule gani?
Hii one ya coach ya kufunzia. This one is 4,200 shillings.
So hii ni ya coach?
Yeah, hii ni ya coach. Ni kama blackboard.
Okay.
Yes. The clock ina vary na the level of specificity of the clock.
Yes.
Kama hii ni professional clock inatumiwa kwa the big events. It is about 5,000 shillings. This one is another version of the clock in 2,500 shillings.
Okay.
Yes.
Indeed. And of course, I've seen most of them in most of these curio shops. I've seen they have some very modified. I don't know if those are allowed. I've seen those modified sort of chessboards. Are those allowed for beginners? Ama naiba vitu zenyu?
Sio kuiba. Hizo ni more of aesthetics.
Okay.
But for tournament play, ni India inaitwa standard chess.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you can actually go draw it. Unaweza enda kufanya for beginners wala wa Commander Shivanga. We can always draw this or find something that looks like this as we head towards being professionals, I think. I think that's a good advice. Ama nimechomea. Nimechoma. Of course, thank you very much indeed for sharing chess. Where are you found on social media or physical office, so that in case someone wants to continue this conversation?
The federation is Chess Kenya on all social platforms. I am at Eugene Bahati na Biswa. We have clubs. Kuna Lighthouse Chess Club, just search that. Mombasa Chess Academy. Just search chess in your region, utapata. We also have Black Knights Chess Club. Maybe you can talk about Nairobi socials.
Yeah, Nairobi mnapata wapi tu mbio, where you are found both physically and online?
So across all social media platforms, we go by Nairobi County Chess Association, and our office, we are at Nanak House, room 205.
Sasa mnajua, msiseme amukuambiwa. This, of course, you can only find it on Sports Extravaganza. Thank you very much, Anthony and Eugene, for your time. And of course, thank you to my experts, the Super Sato crew. Watakunywa kidogo maji, of course, as we bring in the president of the Esports. Esports pia wako kama chess. Wamefanya vitu vikarabati vya Esports. Sahi ati kuna kitu inaitwa Phygital sports. Yani ati ni physical na digital imewekwa phygital. How they have come up with that, the president Ronnie Lusigi atakuja kutuambia ilikuwa aje. But of course, before we go for that break, there is a motorsport event, an equivalent of a concours d'elegance, vintage cars in New Zealand, an event that showcases some of the nicest cars in New Zealand. Ngoja weka picha, mbona mnaweka watu, these are apps. Those cars, of course, were being shown. Watu ambao wameweka magari. I understand those are cars that people, when they were still children, they used to watch this event. Now they're adults, they have brought up some lovely cars. These cars mimi naonanga tu kwa movie ya John Wick, naonanga tu kwa movies za sijui gani. So yeah, this is a special event, of course, that is currently happening in New Zealand. And of course, let's listen to some of the participants.
It's a tough one because there's a lot of people moving away from these old cars, you know, but there's still plenty of guys out there, that guys and girls out there that that love them and want to see what we're doing with them. You know, it's we're slowly following the American trends, but yeah, we're a little slower to take on.
We just love showing the car off to other people. It's such a rare car, but not many people actually get to see a car like this. So it's such a great event. It's so many people coming here. It's worth just bringing a car out like this so people can see it.
It's a club thing. This is the club, the Wheels Club. So we're here every year. You get a gathering of people just in New Year. So you get over what you've done at Christmas and etc. and get over last year. And it's quite enjoyable to relax.
It come from Australia, this one, but had no title, so it's quite a mission to get it through all the loops, you know, all the certification in New Zealand. It's quite hard, but we eventually got there. Cruise and Customs helped me at the very end to get on the road, so that was great. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. We're Westies, so we're only about half an hour down the road from here, and I've been going here since I was a kid. Started off walking in as a spectator, and then the first car we bought in was a little cheap beat-up Beetle, and then now we're bringing these things, and we just love seeing the same people, seeing different cars.
Yeah, my 4 car is still in the yard, Commander Chivanga. I hope he can make it into the Concours d'Elegance this year. This is Sports Extravaganza. Quickly before we go for a break, we have a question of the day. Please keep on sending your feedback. We shall be sharing it after this very short break. We're asking you, what are the chances of Kenya Harambee Stars winning African Nations Championship 2024? What are the chances of Kenya winning? Talk to us. The numbers are below your screen for the benefit. WhatsApp, send a 20-second WhatsApp video clip, 0793267279. You can call us in live, 0795 045 864. See you after this short break.
Join Maybets leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1 au draw X au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako, chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybet. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 0000578.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa 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 inavutia, pesa inavutia.
Welcome back. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. Thank you for staying with us. We appreciate, of course, you keeping it TV 47 every Saturday 4 to 7 p.m. Hapa ndio tunapiganga shughuli ya maneno yote hapa. Our question of the day, tumekumbusha kwamba what are the chances of Kenya winning the African Nations Championship? Talk to us on WhatsApp. The numbers are below your screen. SMS number is 22047. Tutumie ujumbe wako, we shall share it and of course randomly select some of you to win airtime on this show. Right now I'm privileged and honored, of course, to have the president of the Kenya Esports Federation, my very good friend Mr. Lusigi Roni. Na anasema kwamba ametoka happy birthday to, ebu anza kuimba happy birthday. Unajua wanawatch. Please, waambie watumie salamu. Huwezi kosa kutuma salamu president.
Kwa kweli.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And of course happy birthday. Mwambie happy birthday. Unajua siseme TV47 walikunyima chance.
Kweli.
Mwambie tu happy birthday.
Asante sana. Nimemwambia Kwalanda nilikuwa birthday ya my daughter.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo ningependa kumwambia nikiwa hapa.
Yes.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And happy birthday to you, of course, here on behalf of Cape Media, which is the home of Radio 47 and TV 47. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy. And na keki yangu muniwekee.
Asinimalizie. Mwambie hiyo ni kwa first half.
Msimalizie keki na pia mimi niwekewe yangu.
Kabisa.
Of course we are coming to share into your celebration. Happy birthday to you. The reason why President Esports Kenya Bwana Roni Lusigi is here is because finally they are now recognized. Yani they are part of the big boys. They are now recognized by the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. In fact, that statement was released yesterday, and the National Olympic Committee said, and of course I quote what the statement said, the National Olympic Committee has officially recognized the Kenya Electronic Sports Federation, KESF, marking a significant milestone for esports in Kenya. This recognition coincides with the federation's affiliation to the respective international federations, further elevating profile of esports within the Olympic movement. What does this mean, President?
Thank you very much, Tony. This means a lot.
Yes.
As you know, Olympics is the pinnacle of sport.
Yes.
And the International Olympic Committee has been discussing this esport matter since 2018. One of the men I see running for IOC president, Mr. David Lapatent, the president of cycling, yes, was tasked to be the chairman of the IOC Esports Committee, yes, then, and they've been doing trials here and there, which culminated with an Olympic Esports Week in Singapore 2023. Yes. And of course, last year, during the Games in Paris, they announced that they'll have a standalone Olympic Esports Games. So with that news, of course, now we became part of the Olympic family. And as the statement says, and we thank the National Olympic Committee of Kenya for moving quickly to recognize the Esports Kenya Federation. Now we are among the first, last time I checked, it's only 4 other African nations that the Olympic Committee have recognized them. So we have moved quickly. Just again shows that when it comes to matters of the Olympic movement, Kenya is a leader in the African continent and of course a leader globally. And we've moved quickly to be among the leaders to ensure that when the Olympic Esports Games finally come, we will be among the first to not only participate, but compete and excel.
Indeed, of course. And looking forgive my ignorance, but the next Olympics in Los Angeles, any chances of Kenya?
So the structure,
there's a game you mentioned. At first, I had a conversation about you. Yeah. What is your biggest competition that you're looking forward to? Because of course you cannot be competing na kuna kitu mna look forward to.
Okay, so the IOC has structured the Olympic Esports game as a standalone game. So it will not be in LA, neither will it be during the winter or the youth games. It will be a standalone, because as you know, they have the youth games, winter and summer. So the Olympic Esports Games will be standalone, and they'll be held biannually. So Saudi Arabia National Olympic Committee have been given 12-year rights. So they shall host 6 editions in a space of 2 years each, starting 2025. So the Olympic Esports Games will be standalone games.
Wow, well done on that. How was 2024? I know we've done with that here, but how was it in terms of the growth of the sport? I know you are very busy, of course, looking at 2023, 2024. How was it? How was the response? How are people responding? You made a partnership, a huge partnership with Mount Kenya University and, of course, a host of other clubs. How is it so far? How was it? Were those signs a light at the end of the tunnel, or there's a lot of work to do in 2025?
Yeah, I'd say 2024 was a very progressive year for us, both on the competitive side and on the administrative side. On the competitive side, of course, we had our players do well outside there. We had a team like N8 going to Morocco to play the PUBG Championship. We had Queen Arrow doing well in South Africa. We had Bilal Mohammed, an African champion, lifting one of the categories in Nigeria. We had Eric Dimon represent us in France. So we continued to demonstrate Kenya is a leader in esports. We had somebody like Brian Beast and Frost go to the Paris Games Week in France as officials, because as I'm saying, there's also the administrative side. And also on our side as a federation, we were able to make strides in our first training center, as you've mentioned clearly, with the Mount Kenya University. And at the end of last year, you saw us with the PS of Sports, Engineer Peter Toom, when we were launching that partnership with AOC Monitors. As we speak, the monitors have just landed this week. So anytime from now, comrades at MKU should be seeing it. If I was Steve Osimpoboy, I could have said Dragon Motor testing. So testing will be there to set it up. Hopefully we'll have a nice ceremony somewhere in February or March just to officiate that center, which will have 40 monitors, because it's very important for us. I think that is the most significant thing we were able to accomplish in 2024, because it moves us from having our players train in commercial establishments where your time is limited, your space is limited, the amenities are limited. Now with the space at MKU, our players, especially those who've been selected for the national team, can have a place where when you train, you can even have a 2 weeks or a 1 week camp before a major competition. And that will be important. They'll be having a big display screen where a coach can show you your video reviews, your mistakes, your strength and your weaknesses. So I think that center, and we hope it will spur more institutions to accommodate esports, and also more people to invest in esports. You know, the State Department of Sport has always told us there is space at Kasarani, but you cannot go to that space without partners, because what will you set up? But we hope it will spur the development of the infrastructure development of esports in the country.
Yeah, and of course I saw even you last year, of course, whenever we have those big tournaments, I know you're looking forward to chance so you can set up an esport somewhere, of course, bazaar sort of thing. You're making inroads into this sport. How has it been so far? Because I know you, for every physical tournament, of course, which will lead to the digital initiative started, how are your inroads in terms of getting yourself, whenever there's a big tournament, like a football tournament or whichever sport, how was the reception? Were they giving you that opportunity to do that? Because I remember during the Europe Day Kenya football tournament, one of the tournaments that you actually were there to showcase those things. How was it in these other sports? Other competitions?
Yeah, that will bring us to where we started.
Yes.
One of the most important things with us being part of the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, it gives us a platform to collaborate with other sports federations, which the international federations are already running esports competitions. That's an example of football. FIFA runs esports World Cups every year. You have FIBA basketball, they run World Cup every year. You have FIA, they run competitions every year. And in fact, in the demonstration event of the Olympic Esports Series in Singapore, we had one of our Kenyan players, Sam, compete in the motorsport version. You now have tennis, who last year tested it at the Wimbledon. Yes. So once we are now with the Olympic Committee, or National Olympic Committee of Kenya, that's the first step we are going to do in terms of equipping our federations, because you'll find that it's not that there's an inadequacy of players, but there's an inadequacy of the knowledge. For example, that is why you'll find the Kenyan Football Federation has not registered to participate in the last editions that have been there of the Esports World Cup. Yet you have players like Eric and Leon and Elias who've gone to play simulation football across the world, doing very well, but they've not had the opportunity to do it in official capacity. They've gone for private competitions. The same will apply for basketball, for FIA. You walk into any mall these days, there are those race simulators. You have a lot of Kenyans playing. So for us, I'd say for football, we've done some few activations with the federation before. We are looking forward to engage also the new leadership. For basketball, they are showing a lot of positivity. For KMSF, they are very optimistic around it. It's a discussion we are having. So we are very confident now with the backing of the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, and also because IOC announced that they shall create a separate funding model for the esports sector. It will really help, because our international federation was not yet developed to a point where it could be giving those sort of FIFA forward-like type of grants. But we are now hopeful that with the recognition of the IOC, it will bring more resources and it will be brought down here for development of esports, especially in emerging nations like Kenya.
Well done on that. That's very in-depth indeed. And you mentioned something about Mount Kenya University being a center where it's sort of like one of those residential camps where people can train or have that access to these monitors or facilities. Will it be basically in Thika based? Will it only be in Thika campuses or around the Mount Kenya campuses in the country?
At the moment, it will only be at Thika campus, the main campus, as it was rightfully announced by Chairman Professor Gisharu at a very important ceremony. He announced it as a graduation ceremony. It just shows you the commitment of the university. And even before this, the university had already bought a number of equipment for their players, and it has translated into results, because one student from Mount Kenya University won 500,000 last year in a national competition. And it has changed his life, it has transformed his life. And this started by MKU having a space. Because even when he went to that competition, he was not among the people who are being rated as favorites. But people didn't know that he has been in a different environment. And I'd say a big congratulations to his coach, Solomon, who also happens to be the coordinator of esports at MKU. At the same place, they've been already, even before this center, incorporating members of the public, young people from around Thika town. One of the success stories again being Shalin Dirangu, who in 2023 finished second in Saudi Arabia at the Afro-Arab Esports Championship because of that partnership. So this partnership will not only empower MKU students, but also other outstanding players that will be identifying will be given like a membership card that they'll be accessing that facility and training. And also now, as we said, administrative side, we'll also be doing things like coaching clinics, referee clinics at that space, so that as we grow, we don't just grow on the competitive side, but that holistic growth. So MKU, but also importantly, it will also be used for education. Before 4 p.m., students who do courses like these, media-related courses, video editing, graphic design, they'll have the advantage of using those high-end monitors, because these monitors that are used for video gaming, they take a lot of graphics and they're able to do the demands of modern-day journalism and digital media activities. So it's a whole round impacting both sports and the curricular side of MKU.
Oh, wonderful. Of course, Mount Kenya University, you are so blessed to have this kind of facilities, of course, state-of-the-art, for sure at Thika campus. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not doing any PR. It's for sure state-of-the-art. Now that you had those 40 monitors, I am so curious to see how that will turn out. You mentioned about national competition. Talk to us about last year, of course, in progression until, of course, one of these winners taking home $500,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah, sure. Last year, our biggest, when it comes to competitions, our biggest task or target was to diversify beyond the capital city. Because when we properly established our federation in 2023, it was really centered in the city. So we were very happy to go to Mombasa and see players from the coastal region come in. We were very happy to go to Nakuru, again hosted at MKU Nakuru, and see a lot of enthusiasm amongst the young people in Nakuru, including the county government of Nakuru also coming in to support in there. And so this year we're taking it a notch higher, not just to let the cat out of the bag, but this year we'll be doing the 5 cities. It's an announcement we'll make later on, because this year the stakes are higher. You are competing to represent your country in the inaugural Olympic Esports Games. So the stakes will be higher, the number of participants will be higher, even the qualification format that will be used, it will be stiffer. It will not just be one round and you're out. You'll have to go down and come up again just to prove your worth. And the good thing is we have time. We are being told the dates will be announced, but it is tentatively going to be in November. So this year we are really going to go into these 5 cities, mainly the 5 cities of Kenya. But also when we go beyond these 5 cities, we really like using institutions of higher learning, because that's where we find the young people, and we collaborate with the community around. So that, for example, if I go to Kibabi University in Bungoma, we are not just going to engage the students at Kibabi. We are going to have a collaboration with Kibabi. How can our activation there benefit even those around Bungoma, Bungoma County and Bungoma Town and Mount Elgon and those other environs? Even people from Mumias can get to there. Yeah.
Well done on that, of course. We'll be looking forward to that announcement. And I'm just trying to read a press release here that came from your end and World Phygital Community.
Yeah.
And of course, here I'll read it. Esports Kenya is pleased to announce the hosting of the inaugural Kenya Phygital Cup to be held on the 25th. That should be next week, next week, at the Uhuru Sports Complex, Nairobi, where 32 teams shall compete for an opportunity to participate in the Games of the Future 2025 in Dubai, UAE. This unique competition is a hybrid of physical sports and esports. Thus the name Phygital. Aye, Ronnie Muna, show off. Talk to us more about this.
Yeah, you see, one thing Kipchoge says, there's no limits to what we can do as human beings. And one thing the world is showing us now, there's no limit to the number of offerings you can give people for entertainment or for sport. So in 2023, some members of our Global Esports Federation and people in the international community came together and said, apart from esports, we're also going to be having a new format. Let's try it out called Phygital. So Phygital, as the name suggests, is physical and digital sport. And so in 2024, the first edition of the Games of the Future, it's called Games of the Future, was hosted in Kazan. And we had some countries participate where they would play Phygital football, which is a 5 versus 5 soccer match, and a PlayStation match. There was Phygital basketball, which is a half-court 2 versus 2, and a basketball match. There was Phygital dancing. They use a game called Just Dance, where what you dance is simulated on the screen. They had Phygital hockey. And so that was a trial event, only invitational. This year, they expanded the number of countries that they're inviting to 40. And Kenya is among those ones invited to participate. So we are going to have the inaugural Kenya Phygital Cup at the Uhuru Sports Complex in Uhuru Estate, a wonderful facility by the Nairobi City County. And there we are going to have 5 versus 5 soccer and digital soccer. And you can also register a team for 2 versus 2 half-court basketball and digital basketball. And they are competing for an opportunity to go to Dubai, so that they stop just listening about Dubai in songs and other things, but it's also a good experience for them, for the young people. Registration is still on. They can always check the Esports Kenya social media platforms. It's just Esports Kenya on Instagram, on Twitter. You will see the registration is still on, but it will only be 16 teams that will be able to compete in each category. So hurry up and get your team. And we are hoping to see a wonderful competition. We are hoping to see engagement of the young people, because Kwalanda, you walk around this town, the 5 versus 5 artificial turf pitches are taking over.
True.
Everywhere you go, you find young people. They play up to 9, 10 p.m. So at least now they're getting something meaningful. It is going to mean something. That I've been playing 5 versus 5. People have told me I cannot play for Gor Mahia or the Giants, AFC Leopards. But now I can represent my country in Dubai And in 2026, we will be in Kazakhstan. So it will be an annual competition. And this year, we are hoping to see a good start so that for the Kazakhstan cycle, we can even do now in other Kenyan regions. But this year, it will only be in the capital. And we invite all Kenyans. Yes. There'll be enough seating space. We'll have bleacher stands there. Come and see that action and come and see people compete.
On the 25th of this month at Uhuru
Sports Complex.
Uhuru Sports Complex.
That is at Uhuru Estate in Eastlands.
In Eastlando. Yeah. That's where will be this tournament 5x5. It's both for men and women?
Yeah, it's open. It's open, it's mixed. A team can be mixed because it's pretty much like street football. So it's mixed, but 16 years and above. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, lazima ukue na
at least for
waiting
16,
ID card.
16 and 17 will require parental consent. Yes. But that's the cap that has been set by the World Digital Community. Okay. And a team from there will be also coming to watch this competition as scrutineers. They'll also be able to talk more about this digital, but it's something that is good, is innovative, yes. Especially at these times of digital advancement. It will be very nice to see young people not just play on the digital side, but also on the physical side. I grew up playing both PlayStation and soccer. I ended up much in the PlayStation side, but for my personal health, you can see I can still play soccer, and that's a balance that will not just be calling for in sport, but even in life. You have this thing of people saying we need a break from screen time at times. We need, sometimes you are seated in your office from 8 to 5. After there, you are seated in an Uber or in a matatu. You don't find time to exercise. So we are hoping it will also go out there to show the world and the community the importance of incorporating some digital aspects and physical aspects to your digital life.
Indeed. The president of Esports Kenya Federation, that is Ronnie Lusigi, speaking to us about the great news about being now recognized by the National Olympic Committee, and also some of the exciting events that Esports has, of course, planned this year, with the local one here happening at the, of course, Uhuru Sports Complex, and of course the league in all the cities. You'll be having them across those 5 cities, and then of course the big tournament coming up, and so many other events, of course, that will be happening both regionally and of course across the borders in terms of esports. Remember, if you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. Just one last question before I let you go. Any other big events that are coming up? I remember last year there was an event in Morocco.
Yes.
Is that an annual event? And maybe any other big event you're looking forward for this year?
There's a big event for mobile esports competition, okay, for university students that is coming out. I won't want to let the cat out of the bag. Right. But just to give a hint, it was in another country last year. Yes. It's a big competition with good passes. There's the inaugural E-League One tour that people will be competing for a chance to go to France. This year we're making it better. We've been sending 1 gamer. This year we are sending 2 gamers. And because we have incorporated also mobile. So they'll be playing on PlayStation and on mobile. The champion for each category goes out there. This year there's also the FIFA E-World Cup by FIFA. We are going to reach out to FKF to see that Kenya participates this year. That's also another huge one that is coming up. There's also the inaugural eFIBA. Again, you're going to be speaking to KBF, and FIA also have a very wonderful esports competition, which KMSF are also very interested to do. So be watching out to our discussions with this. I think the biggest development this year will be the collaboration with traditional sports federations. That is our biggest task this year, because there are many opportunities in there, but also our collaboration or membership to the NOC is not just limited to esports. IOC launched what we call the Olympic AI agenda, and many people in the digital space are also in the esports space. So we'll also be looking to contribute to the Olympic esports agenda through esport, because esports encourages digital innovation, and Kenya is the Silicon Savannah, as we all know. So also the Olympic AI agenda is top among our targets. We know there'll be some transition in knock somewhere around April, but we believe after that there'll be a lot more, much more that we'll be able to do in regards to the Olympic AI agenda, which is a 5-year agenda, and of course the Olympic Esports Games.
True indeed. Asante sana, Bwana Ronnie Lusigi, the president of the Esports Kenya Federation, of course sharing about those what plans they have for 2025, and of course the competitions, and also how 2024 was, what they learned, and how they're looking forward. Now that they've been given all the powers, the way you normally told during graduation, you have the powers now to go read. Now they have the powers to really, as in the sky, is the limit. This is Sports Extravaganza. Quickly, as we talk about esports, let me give you the physical esports that is happening in the English Premier League. Bournemouth beat, yes, you heard me right, Bournemouth, that's the English Premier League, Bournemouth beat Newcastle 4-1 at St. James's Park. How hiyo ndio imechoma bet za watu zote. Poleni sana, chezeni esports ndio msichome bet. Then currently the matches, 3 matches are currently going on as we speak right now in the English Premier League. Just before we go for the break, West Ham versus Crystal Palace, 32 minutes played, 0-0. Brentford versus Liverpool, 32 minutes, 0-0. Leicester City versus Fulham, 32 minutes, 0-0. The late kickoff at 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time will be Arsenal at Emirates playing against Aston Villa. And then tomorrow early kickoff in Southampton, huko kubwa kabisa. Wacha nikimbie mbio. In La Liga, already Sevilla beat Girona 2-1 in the Spanish top flight league. The other game that is currently going on right now, the only game going on right now in the Spanish La Liga, that's the top flight league in Spanish, Atletico 0, and then Leganes 0, that is 18 minutes played. The late kickoff will be actually Getafe versus Barcelona at 11 p.m. At 8:30 p.m. Real Betis versus Alaves. Yesterday, my team, Dortmund, were beaten by Eintracht Frankfurt. My goodness, Borussia Dortmund are in the second half of the table in that standings. How, I wonder, it's just a shock. They are more than, I think, 15 points behind Bayern Munich, who are at the top of that table. It is so embarrassing. At 5:30, that is, of course, I'm just looking at some of the fixtures in the German Bundesliga quickly. Halftime already, FC St. Pauli 1, Heidenheim 0. Bayern Munich 2, Wolfsburg 1. That's halftime. Holstein Kiel 0, Hoffenheim 2. Ongoing, Stuttgart 3, halftime against Freiburg 0. And then, of course, Bochum 0, Leipzig 3 at halftime. The late kickoff will be Leverkusen versus Borussia Mönchengladbach in that order. Serie A, of course, current games that are going on as we speak, Bologna 3, Monza 1, and 8 p.m. Juventus versus AC Milan, an interesting fixture. And then late kickoff will be Atalanta versus Napoli. If you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. I would like to take a very short break, but before we go for that break, we have a question of the day. We're asking you, what are the chances of Kenya qualifying or actually making it as winners of the 2024 Africa Nations Championship? What are the chances of Kenya winning in the CHAN 2024 competition that will be taking place in August, rescheduled to August 2025? Talk to us. The numbers, of course, are below the screen. You can call us on 0795 045 864. You can WhatsApp us on 0793 267 279. A 20-second WhatsApp video clip on WhatsApp. 22047 is our SMS number. We're taking a short break. We'll be back, of course, with our Super Sato crew of Tabitha, Joseph, and Celine. Don't go away.
Pesa ikiingia, pesa ikiingia.
Yule ambaye ameshinda maybe Michael Okech.
Siku expect kushinda. Nilieleza bibi yangu ya kwamba nimeshinda. Hata mpaka sasa hajalala, lakini wanajua wanangoja walali. Nimeshukuru sana. Christmas yangu ni kama nimemaliza kwa sababu nimepata pikipiki. Nimewahi shinda 60,000 na kulipa wanalipa. Ukishinda pesa yako unatoa. Na nimeshukuru sana Maybet. Hii ni bet platform ambayo nimekuja kugundua imeshinda bet platform zingine. Maybet kwangu is the best.
Kunjama uonekana pesa ikiingia, pesa ikiingia.
We are the home of internationally recognized education.
We are Malawian students studying at Mount Kenya University.
We are students from Uganda.
I'm a student from Angola.
We believe in making university education affordable and accessible. We will enable you achieve your career goals. Join us today and let us turn your ambitions into reality. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Radio 47. Bonge la Radio. Tunavuma na bado. Hapa ndipo.
I became an art historian and started to curate because I wanted to help frame some of the rich and multi-layered culture.
I'm now off to meet an artist who uses photos in a very different way. Our journey now takes us to a painter whose work I find haunting. Beatrice Wanjiko.
I hope you enjoyed DW's Artsy Africa, bringing you talented artists that are shaping the creative narratives of Africa.
Extravaganza, Tony Kwalanda here. Just a while ago, we were honored to have the president of the Kenya Esports Federation, that is Ronnie Lusigi, of course, sharing what is up next this 2025. It's a bumper full basket of action for esports. So kama hawezi cheza physical kama sisi, you can always have a chance, of course, to go in esports. And then esports is now diversifying and as well as becoming both for physical and digital. So kutakuwa na ma5 huko 25th pale Uhuru Sports Complex. That's a very interesting sports. So mnacheza 5-5 ama 2-on-2 kwa bake, alafu jana mnacheza kwa esports. Now that is the kind of games that will keep people away from the capital during demonstrations. So tupeleke energy yetu kwa uwanja. But yes, mkitaka kudemonstrate, mna demonstrate tu kwa mitandao. Thank you very much for staying with us. We have a question of the day. Of course, we're asking you, Harambee Stars, do they have a chance of winning Africa Nations Championship? Talk to us on our WhatsApp. Tuko na mafixture mingi zina happen. Director wangu Mavili, umesema tusome fixtures haraka haraka. Kina nani wakikuja, so we have these fixtures happening. Of course, as my crew comes in, the Super Sato crew. Nataka, of course, my good friend Tabitha ananiambia kwa nini Kariobangi Sharks walikuwa na siku mrefu. Walikomongwa D pale, watu wa Njugu ndo waliuza kuuza, lakini watu wa Sharks waliona moto. Ama ni juu FKF si president. Nimejua nimeguza. Kwa ingine, leta zingine, of course, haraka. Tuko tumeweka hizo. And of course the table as at before the first kick-off, Tusker wanaendelea kushikilia huko, wanakaa huko juu. KCB, Police, Gor Mahia, Shabana, Leopards, Bandari. Hizi of course ni numbers just before the kickoffs that happened this day. Women's Premier League, of course, Kisumu All Starlets versus Kenya Police Bullets. Tuko na game, of course, ligi ya mademi inaendelea. Niko na Super Sato crew hapa hivi, so wako hapa watanisaidia kufikiria pia na kuongea. Women's League as well, of course, tukiangalia table yao so far, hizo ndo points, na hiyo zilikuwa points as at before games zikichezwa, zile za leo ama zile zinachezwa kesho. Na hivyo ndo kunaenda Kibera Soka, Kibera Police Bullets, na hivyo tukisonga. Haya, tukimbia ugaibuni ama majuu. Kesho ukipenda 19th of January, Celta Vigo against Atletico, Real Madrid Las Palmas. Real Madrid of course will qualify quarterfinals za Copa del Rey. Osasuna, Rayo Vallecano, Valencia versus Real Sociedad. Tukisonga mbio ni game za kesho. Tulete hiyo ingine Mavindi. Umepeleka wapi hiyo ingine? Mimi nangoja kama utanipatia shauri yenu. Hii ni EPL yes kesho Nottingham Forest, Southampton, Everton, Tottenham, Man United na huyo Ahmad wao. And then of course Ipswich versus Man City na ule mtu wao anakula $500,000 per hour. Wacha tuone kesho itakuwa namna gani kama atakuwa switched. And then fixes za leo ndio hizo of course zisha happen. And then now umesema tufanye nini? So of course hizo games zishachezwa. Kuna zile za 8 PM 8 PM inafanyika. Yes, game 3 zinachezwa saa hizo EPL. Now, wacha tuachane na hizo games zikichezwa juu bado ziko first half. Wacha nikupeleke Ngong Race Course where my very good friend who is also a sports reporter, that's Boniface Kimanzi, is on standby to tell us that big game, Kenya Cup rugby game between Nondescripts, if you like Nondes, against Kenya Harlequins. Kulikuwa vipi Boniface Kimanzi, ongea na sisi.
Asante sana mwenzangu Tony Kwalanda, na kama unavyojua tuko hapa katika uwanja wa Ngong Race Course jijini Nairobi ambapo kumekuwa na mechi kali. Tumeona wale Harlequins wakicheza na Nondis ambapo wameshinda. Vile vile niko na mashabiki hapa wa Manchester United, mashabiki wa Manchester City, mashabiki wa Arsenal ambapo watakuwa wanatuambia mechi zimekuaje pale ligi kuu nchini Uingereza na timu zao ni gani pale na ni wapi ambao watakuwa wanarekebisha. Bila shaka niko na shabiki mmoja hapa atakuwa anatuambia timu yake ni gani na pale Uingereza wanacheza aje katika ligi kuu.
Glory, glory Man United.
Kwa hivyo unashambikia Manchester United?
Timu kubwa kiburi Manchester United. Amad Diallo is my cousin from another mother.
Kwa nini unashambikia Manchester United?
Sir Alex Ferguson, Babato, Wayne Rooney, all the legends.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
First of all, ni pass my condolences to familia ya Lo. Tumepoteza Lo. Lo alikuwa one of the 3 forwards wa Man United wenye walishinda Ballon. Yeah, so tuko in a very somber mood, but also in a very glorious mood because tume research. Yeah, looking forward to the challenge ya Brighton. Wako mbele yetu kwa table, lakini tuenda kwa swaga.
Tukiangalia Manchester United imekuwa ikicheza vizuri, lakini ukiangalia tangu ule Amorim aingia pale, mmekuwa mkishinda mechi lakini zingine mmekuwa mkipoteza. Ni shida gani ambayo imeingia pale katika Old Trafford? Ni wachezaji ama ni coach?
I think the main problem ni Amorim amekuja na a very defined system of play, which is very different from how we were playing under Ten Hag. So itachukua muda kuintegrate the players into the system of play. I feel like tunahitaji wing backs to suit the system, but unaweza ona the idea. You can see the idea.
Yeah. Ni timu gani ambayo pale katika EPL inawapatia upinzani wa karibu sana?
I hate to say this, but I think Liverpool, who are greatest rivals, wanakaa wako on a very good run, probably might win the league. But yeah, I think Liverpool mostly for now.
Tukiangalia pale Chelsea inacheza vizuri, lakini ukiangalia bado wanazuazua. Unafikiri Chelsea itakuwa inachukua ligi msimu?
Hapana. I think Chelsea watakuwa found out kwa second leg. Wamefanya vizuri kwa first leg, but ni iti a fluke. I'm very sure watakuwa found out na sidhani hata watamaliza top 4.
Shabiki wa Manchester United anasema kwamba anashabikia sana Manchester United. Vile vile niko na shabiki mwingine hapa ambaye atakuwa anatuambia timu yake ni gani na mbona anashabikia ile timu yake pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza.
Yeah, so mimi ni fan wa Manchester United. Why do I support Manchester United? Because it's the team I've always known since childhood. And at some point in my life, when Rooney almost made me become a professional football player, but football liko na miguu mbili ya left, so football ilikataa. Yeah, but okay, Manchester yes, we've had for the past few years, past few seasons we've had a rough sailing, but team kubwa hizi tuambia kitu bana. For example, Arsenal yes mnaongoza table, but ikikuja na sisi team yetu tuna struggle na mwezi tupiga. Alafu na sasa hivi hata mnafaa mwite next season FC. Yeah, so that's what
Trophyless FC.
yeah, trophyless FC. Yeah, kucheza mnacheza, we acknowledge that. But when it comes to results, labda saa mngangania possession. Yeah.
Mashabiki wa Manchester United na mashabiki wa Chelsea wanasema kwamba wanaziaminia timu zao, na vile vile ukiangalia mashabiki wa Manchester United wako wengi sana, wanasema kwamba wanaaminia sana ule Ruben Amorim pale katika uga wa Old Trafford. Kutoka kwangu sina la ziada ila kurudisha usukani Tony Kwalanda uko pale studioni.
Thank you very much, Boniface Kimanzi. Pole, I talked about Nondis, but I know you're working that story, Boniface Kimanzi, and thank you for those insights of Netflix next season FC. Tabitha, uko na 30 seconds to wind up.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Very happy to be here. Very happy to be back. And shout out to Kariobangi Sharks fan. Najua leo tumeshindwa, but we'll bounce back. Manchester United, Amad Diallo, the legend, better than Saka. Yeah, so I love you guys very much. Not to Real Madrid, Hala Madrid, but to Dortmund, to Vute coach. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Joseph, 30 seconds.
So, mi ushindwa kwa nini lazima tu muingishe Arsenal kwa kila conversation. I mean, si ongea mambo ya Manchester. Anyway, Arsenal wanacheza na Aston Villa, definitely a win. Shout out to congrats to Tusker, wanaendelea kuongoza. I hope tomorrow wapiga goal. We need to see a new champion this year. Finally, mafans wa tennis, we have Australian Opens. And my all-time favorite, my number one, Sabalenka, anacheza 3 a.m. tuamke tumuone.
3 a.m. Aya, Celine, 3 a.m.
Mimi yangu ni machache. Kesho watu watokea grau, mvoe jezi za Tusker. Kama mnataka mkuja mniambie hiyo grau ijai yellow.
Machako.
Mimi sitaki kuona hii kala. Hii ni nini? Trash. Anyways, tuko on top of the league, both Liverpool and Tusker. So it feels good to be up there. You should join me, guys. You guys.
Brentford will frustrate you. Brentford bad work.
So tomorrow you're hoping for the best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Selina Vera, Joseph Kuria, Makumi, the Super Sato crew. We had, of course, question of the day. We had asked you what are Kenya's chances of winning the CHAN 2024. Here are some of your comments.
Yes, Bwana Tore Kwanane, Bwana Joshua, kijana ya Homa Bay, kijana ya Kindu Beidala, Tochikuyu Maseru. Bwana Tone, long time jamani, tunajua tumepatana kidogo hapa kule, lakini tuko mbali, tuko ndani ya 347. Chances ya Harambee qualification go qualify. Group tuko ndani jamani, Tony jamani, ni group itaki ujinga. Group tuko na Morocco, tuko na Angola. Jamani Tony jamani, tuko na DRC pale jamani Tony. Tunataka seriousness. Chances unit test tumepatiwa, sababu hizi timu zote ni zile timu baba tu nini ngumu, lakini tunaamini Harambee Stars wataweza. Tutaweza Bwana Tony. Tukifanya preparation vizuri tutaweza. So chances tuko ndani na sisi ni timu yetu nyumbani Bwana Tony. TV47 tuko pale pamoja Bwana Tony Kwalanda, tuko ndani.
I know there are plenty of those. We have a lot of those feedback coming to you. Zile za WhatsApp video. We shall share them on our digital platforms. Enda kwenye TV47, all Facebook, TikTok, zitakuwa zimetumbukizwa hapo. And of course, I'll be able to share them next show. Thank you so much really indeed for watching. Asante sana. Our Super Sato crew, Tabitha, Jose, na Selena. Of course, and on behalf of the entire team, Mavindi, asante sana. Of course, director, producer, Stanley Nyaringita, Boniface Kimanzi, entire sports crew, wale wa sound, wale ma floor manager hapa, sisi wamaliza MCR, Cape Media Management, wanasema shukrani sana kwa kuwatch. Nimeona ndugu yangu pale The Brand, aka President, anajulikana kama Paul Kirobi. Stand by with the latest in the world of news in Kiswahili coming up shortly. Bye for now.
Every Sunday is a praise party here on Sifa Sunday Plus, where hype and engagement come alive with the gospel.
Anyone can come in and ensure that they are growing spiritually and personal growth, and ensuring that their mental health is intact even as they serve God.
You don't want to miss this. Sundays from 11 a.m. See you there.